I gotta go this way a little bit. There we go.
Look at that. Look at that. It is Tuesday. It's Show Me the Money Club. Sergio,
Hey.
I'm going to tell you right now, you got me sick. You were
Yeah.
sick the last 2 weeks. Now I'm sick now. So I don't know what happened, what you're breathing on the mic or something a little bit, but it came in the air and now I got it. So
I apologize.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
I apologize.
How you doing besides?
I'm doing really well, buddy. How about, I know you got a cold from your kids, but you know, I'll take the blame. You know, I'll take the hit for it. You know, right through the internet, I got you sick. So there you go.
You did. You got me that computer virus, the computer virus.
Yes,
the viruses. All right. Yes, it's Tuesday. You know what day it is. We've got a lot coming for you today. We have some special guests we're going to bring on in just a few moments, but first we're going to do our rundown. So yes, we have our special guests. We have Marion and Nofi coming on from Ualett. They're going to be talking about that. Then after they're off, we're going to be talking about how Lyft is improving yet again with some more details on upfront fares, as well as a clear streak and zone for earnings. We're going to be talking about how Uber is pushing pool while Lyft is exiting shared rides, which a lot of people are probably going to be liking there. Again, you know, Lyft is going up, Uber is going down. Don't know what's going on there. Then we're going to be talking about how Uber is threatening to pull out of Illinois and also Minnesota due to the legislation, which we're going to be talking about there. Some good stuff coming from both Chicago and Illinois, as well as Minnesota. I'm sure a lot of Minnesotians are going to be very happy. Uber's lobbying is also getting stupid beyond scare tactics, reaching new lows. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about how Uber employees are in pain, which is pretty crazy. And then also for all who we're going to be talking about a little bit with Uber Teen, just kind of a refresher to let you know if you missed our special live on Thursday or even our standalone video that came out later that day. And then also we're going to be talking about a new rideshare company, something that is putting safety first. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about a Twitter conversation with David Risher again, and then also some funnies. So we got pretty jam-packed show for you. And, you know, obviously put stuff in the chat. And yeah, with that being said, we want to bring on our guests in just a few moments. So we're going to play this video real quick first, and then we're going to bring them on, and they're going to be talking about exactly what Ualett is, something that's going to be great for rideshare drivers, especially in a pinch when you need it. So,
share driver who needs extra cash, meet Ualett. We're a cash advance company trusted by over 90,000 drivers. We help drivers who need cash advances for paying insurance, vehicle maintenance repairs, gas money, and any of your business-related endeavors. We have an extremely fast application process, allowing you to have your money in 24 hours. It's fast, no impact on your credit score, and no credit checks. We approve your application based on cash flow from your rideshare business. Join Ualett today and never worry about being strapped for cash again.
All right, so that is the intro to Ualett. As you can see, Sergio is all set and ready to go when it comes to it. So we had a wonderful ability to talk to them beforehand. So we are going to bring on Marion right now, which is the Director of Operations. Hello, Marion. How are you?
Hi, everyone. How you doing? Hi, Chris. Hi, Sergio.
Hey, hi. Marion. How are you?
And then we also have Nofi coming on as well, too, to talk a little bit about everything. So how are you?
How's everyone?
Hey, Nofi. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having us.
As you guys see, you know, I'm dressed in blue with a blue background, right? So actually, I like the white one too, Marion. So maybe, you know, maybe next time. But, you know, we're all dressed properly, except my partner over here on the upper left-hand corner. You got to ask the receipt, my man. You just didn't ask. That's all. You know, like a baby, you got to ask to receive. But anyway, all kidding aside, you know, Ualett is our new sponsor for the next 8 weeks, and we're thrilled and glad to have him, obviously, and an executive of the company, Marion, Director of Operations, and Nofi Liberty. Love that name. Ualett Ambassador. So, you know, without extending my speech, so let's go to Marion first. And so tell us a little bit about the company, what it is, what you guys do, and then I'll have some specific questions. And by the way, I am definitely going to use the product, and in fact, I'm going to do an article on it with screenshots. So it may make for some people or viewers watching it now or during the replay easier. So with all that said, Marion, introduce yourself and tell us about Ualett.
So hi everyone, my name is
Hello.
Marion, and I'm the Director of Operations for Ualett. Ualett is a cash advance app for independent contractors, rideshare, and gig workers in general. The reason why we were created 5 years ago was because we saw the need on the rideshare market, which, as you guys constantly said, is a market that other people try to constantly take advantage of. Like, how many taxes can we keep adding on top of taxes? So Ualett is here to make the life of the riders and the gig workers even easier. So you just need to apply for a deal or a cash advance whenever you had any inconvenience in regards of your work. So if you need to pay for a toll, if you need money for gas, change the tires of your vehicle, maintenance, or any other minor repair, we are here to help you.
Great. So, as probably I have 8 or 9 apps on my phone that I use as a gig worker, right? And obviously this, let's make the distinction that this is not just for rideshare. This is any gig worker, any gig work, DoorDash or whatever. As long as you're involved in gig work and you have, funds coming into your account as, instant pay or a weekly pay model, it's good to go. Now, is this only for the gig worker, Marion, or is it also for other independent contractors?
This is for independent contractors in general. So anyone that has a 1099 can apply for Ualett. So it doesn't matter if you're on your own business as a DBA, if you're a rideshare, if you're a delivery, you can apply with us.
Great. So now the link for the company obviously is in our show notes, and it's going to be there. Chris is working on the banner. He's going to get the right banner up in a second. And this is the code that you guys need to use. But before we get into the nitty-gritty parts of it, now, how many states is this in? I have like general questions as any gig worker would do or audience would do. Here's the deal. So is it nationwide? What kind of process is it? How easy it is? Talk a little bit about that, Marion.
So we are a nationwide product. So we cover most of the United States. We just have a flat fee. We do not have any interrate or any hidden fees as other companies. And the process is pretty easy. You just need to download the app, get an invitation to create a profile. You verify your email address, verify your identity. So if it's just through an ID, you don't need to have your social security number or anything included into the app. You add the bank account that you want to be used for us to review your profile and in which you want to get the funds and get the funds deducted. And that's it. You go through a evaluation process and you get qualified for a deal.
Right. I read a bunch of raving reviews, by the way. People can Google this on the internet, and recent reviews too, like within the last 3 days. Everybody seems to say that it's very easy within 24 hours. And now, does this go through a credit check, or there is no credit check, right?
No, there is no credit. We don't take credit into consideration.
Right. So they're not getting a hit by getting a credit check as far as their credit score is concerned as well. So to get started, obviously we have to download the app, right? Easy thing to do. It's both on Android and iOS, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, that is correct. You just need to type in Ualett.
Right.
And
so besides this, Marion, like this is like an easy product to use, and I don't know any gig worker, seriously, that once in a while, once a year, once every couple of years, run into a pickle. I mean, look, they get sick, they cannot work. Maybe the question for me is, okay, let's say I had worked for 2 months and then last 2 weeks I did not work. So how does Ualett figure out, is there a time limit that I have to show as far as, how long I've been working the gig apps, or how does that process go?
So to make it simple for rideshare and gig workers in general, we just take into consideration the previous 90 days or 3 months. So if you have incomes during that time frame as a rideshare, as a delivery, as a gig worker, you will go through the evaluation process and we will be able to validate like how many incomes have you been getting. because this is what we internally call the driver's paradox. At this point, the gig paradox. If you get sick, you cannot work. If you cannot work, you cannot generate funds. If you cannot generate funds, then you will not be able to reinvest in your business. Same happen when your car breaks down or your bicycle. If you don't work, you cannot repay. So that's the problem that we come here to fix. So we fix the paradox.
Right. So you're basically, you know, filling up a hole that they may have as far as funds are concerned, or just like you said, they may have worked, you know, out of the 3 months, 2 of it, and then something happened, you know, they had a family emergency, whatever, you know, they need some funds to catch up on payments or bills. I think this is perfect for that. So, you know, a lot of people are going to ask me later on, I'm sure, because I get 1,000 emails a week, but, you know, everything is great when apps exist, right? Because these days we'll push a button, car shows up, we'll push a button, food shows up, we'll push a button, the money is going to show up in their bank accounts. But most people's complaint is support or being able to speak to a human, right? Is there such a thing with Ualett?
Yes, we do. We have 3 different line of businesses to help our clients. One is our virtual assistants. So, you know, just for the more tech guys that do not want to talk to a person, they just want a straight answer. Then we have our inbound department, so you can talk to a real human being over the phone. And we also have the app, the chat, which is implemented in our app and also on our website. So if you are on the go and you do not have the time to wait online and talk to someone, you can just chat with us and wait for the reply and then go in on the back and forward on your own time.
Great. Is obviously, look, there's a cost of doing this. Is there a fee up front, and then, you know, later on there may be interest charges, obviously, but is there a fee that's involved to get going?
Yes, we do have a flat fee, which anyone that apply for the app will be able to see up front. So before you take the deal, once you're approved, you will be able to see how much that flat fee will be, the amount that you have been approved, and then the breakdown of your weekly payments, which will include already the flat fee on it. So there's no additional hidden fees in the future. So It's not like you will see the amount increment or decrease for that particular cash advance.
So does Ualett decide how fast I have to pay this, let's say, cash advance back, or does the consumer decide how fast they want to pay back?
The consumer will decide. We will give you like a set of options. Depending on the amount, it could go anywhere between 6 and 12 weeks. And then you will be able to select in which amount of time you want to repay.
So once you get the approval for whatever amount you have, you select, you know, however long you want to take to pay this back, right? And then, I mean, you know, actually somebody put it in the chat. It says 4.8 rating on Trustpilot. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
That is correct.
You know, please go read the reviews. I mean, look, I did it, and I think, you know, most of the time I don't buy these reviews, but when it comes to money, you got to listen, and because we're talking about money, we're not talking about food here, right? So, I have a couple of other quick questions for you, and then we'll go to Nofi, and then let's see what she's doing at Ualett and how her experience has been. Is there a tax deductibility issue with this? Like, can I deduct the interest off my taxes, or how does that part work?
No, as we do not verify credit, there's no tax deductibility out of it.
Okay. And lastly, I know that if you use the Ualett app once and then get a cash advance, right? The second time around, when you do need it again, I think the process works faster. Is that correct?
Yes, because now that you have the app and you have your profile completed, as soon as you pay your current cash advance, you will be able to be reevaluated for a second one. So it could be either the same amount or higher, depending on how your incomes are fluctuating during those 3 months.
Right. And then let's just mention, you know, before we go to Nofi, the minimums and maximums again. I think it was $350 minimum, right?
It goes from $300 to $2,000 for gig workers. If you're a trucker, then it can go up to $3,000.
Okay, so the max for a trucker is $3,000. What if you have a business that's through 1099? Let's say, you know, you're bringing in $100,000 a year. Does it make a difference? Because I don't think you don't check income, so I don't think it makes a difference, right?
No, it will not.
Okay. So with that said, if you want to add something, you know, we'll before we say our goodbyes, I'll come up with a couple other questions. I'm sure our chat will. Is there anything else that you want to add?
Yeah, like the wallet app is trouble free, is fast, and if you apply like today, you will be getting the funds within 24 hours or less. And if you belong to our program, like a loyalty program, so you're a repetitive client, you will be able to qualify to get the funds right away. So within 10 to 15 minutes after you get approval. So it's really fast. If something happened to you like right now, and it's your second, your third deal, and you need the funds right away, you will be able to have it in your account.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what I can think of right off the top of my head is that, you know, let's say something happens to your car, it goes to the shop, you know, you need to rent, you know, from Hertz, let's say a Tesla to the Uber, you don't have the funds. Well, you know, do this, get the funds, and then go get your car, and then, you know, you'll be right back on the street. So there are many ways of using this. So,
Yes.
you know, nobody's putting the thumbs up there. So we love the hair, but what else you got? So, but so Novi, Liberty, is that your true name, really? Liberty, is that your
Yes,
last
Liberty
name?
is my last name.
What an amazing name. So,
Yes.
so we see you're a promoter ambassador, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about you, how long you've been with Ualett, what you do for Ualett, and give us a little of your background.
Okay, my name is no. First of all, like I'm somebody that likes to give people their flowers while they can still smell them. I must say, the RideShare Guy, thank you. Thank you so much. I remember when I used to drive for Uber, you were a great source of information. I'm telling you guys, thank you so very much. Like if I had an accolade to give you guys, I would have given you guys. But all I have right now is my sincere appreciation and a thank you, okay? So with that being said,
see this, people? See, this is what we're expecting from you instead of giving me a bunch of crap every week. Okay, there you go. We're inviting Novi back every week now. That's it.
But my name is Nefé Liberty. I'm one of the ambassadors for Ualett, the greatest cash advance company for independent drivers. I'm telling you, it's the best. Now, we as a company give cash advances to independent drivers, okay? Independent drivers in regards to rideshare, Uber, Lyft, taxi, Via. If you do deliveries as well, we do for DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Postmates, and so on. We also give cash advances to independent truck drivers as well. So one of the beautiful things about this company is that they do not think of drivers as robots or money-making machines, right? They actually feel for drivers and say, we need to help these people, okay? So when they created this app, they put the drivers in their hearts when they were creating the app. So let me just give you a brief story of when I actually found out about Ualett, okay? I used to be an Uber driver in 2019. I was in the Newark airport, just doing my thing, waiting for Uber to send me a rider. And a gentleman came up to me and he gave me a Ualett pamphlet and a pen. And he was going on about Ualett. And I was like, just stop right there, sir. I'm sorry. My credit is not good enough. I'm not going to qualify. I'm sorry. And he says to me, we do not check your credit. I said, so he says, no, we don't check your credit. I'm telling you. He says, as long as you're Uber, Lyft, or any gig worker or an independent driver, you qualify for this cash advance. I was like, okay, fine. So what is the interest rate on this loan? And he said, it is not a loan. We don't give loans. We only give cash advances and we only charge a flat fee. And I said, what? A flat fee? He says, a flat fee. And I was like, no, this is too good to be true. I want to make an informed decision. Can you just wait? Let me just make an informed decision. I'll probably try it not now at all because I did not need cash. Uber was good then and I was making good money. So I did not need cash at the moment. So I took the pamphlet, gave him my number. He invited me. And then I just took the pamphlet and put it in my glove compartment. Fast forward to a couple of weeks later, I needed cash. My car broke down. I needed to work. If I should use my car like that, I would get a low rating. So I was like, no, I need cash now. How can I get cash? What am I going to do? And then I remembered the guy. So I went to my glove compartment, took out the pamphlet, downloaded the app. I was shocked of how easy it was to get a cash advance. Within a couple of hours, they approved me. They told me, go and get a deal, go to the app. I went into the app. I got the cash advance. They gave me an option. Do you want to pay back in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks? I chose the weeks I wanted to pay back. And then I got the cash advance within minutes. And I was like, no, everybody in America, every independent driver needs to hear about this app. How can I work for this company? I started calling. I was like, Ualett, can you hire me? I need to promote this app. I just kept calling them. And then a couple of weeks later, they got back to me, trained me in the TLC building. If y'all know me, I'm the girl in the Fauci building. They used to be in the Fauci building talking to you guys about Ualett. Drop a comment in the comment section if you know me. You know me, you know me, you know me. So I'm out there promoting Ualett. Ualett, this company, when they talk about the charges, I am taken aback by the way they treat us. Amazingly, okay? They only charge a flat fee, a flat fee. It doesn't matter regardless of whatever situation you're going through. God forbid, life happens. They know life happens. So when something happens to you, for example, and you're not able to pay back a particular week, you just give a courtesy call. This is not to say you need to pay late, but life happens. So you can give a call, you reschedule, and you start from where you stop. They don't charge you like those predatory loan companies or cash advance companies. It's flat. They don't add one more cent to it. This is absolutely fantastic. I started working with the company. I started pulling more people, and then they promoted me, and it's amazing. Words are not enough to explain to you, Sergio and Chris. Words are not enough to explain how great this company is. Ualett, Ualett.
If the Ualett thing doesn't work out, you can always work for the RideShare Guy, because I think we need you.
Oh no, you're trying to steal her.
Okay, yeah, she took it over, but you know what? I'm mesmerized by her, energy. So a couple of quick questions, like while I'm watching the chat at the same time.
Yeah.
So there is a question that says, can you prepay interest-free? So let's say I took a loan, I decided 8 weeks, but on the second week, I have enough money now, something came into some money I want to pay back. Can you do that? That's a good question, actually.
So again, it's not a loan, it's a cash advance.
Okay.
Right.
And as it is a flat fee, you can pay in advance, but you will need to pay the preset amount.
Okay. And the other question is, well, somebody's already applying. It says, Ualett, Ride 10 is not working, Chris, so you know, not my problem. Like, okay, well, we'll make it valid. Don't worry about it. You give it a shot.
We Hear Life, we're working on that for you guys.
Yep, as we speak, they're working on it. The other thing is, see, people that says, can you imagine an Uber ride with Nofe? Well, Nofe is not doing Uber rides anymore. So
I used to work for Uber. Now I've upgraded. I'm working with Ualett right now.
There you go. There you go. So tell us a little bit about, other than, look, obviously your pitch is great, but why? I mean, you're doing this to make some money, obviously. So how do you become an ambassador? Like, what do you do? Like, I want to know what you're all about.
See, obviously I have to make money as a business, but at the end of the day, I just really wanted people to know about Ualett. You see, nobody recruited me. I was the one who hunted them down to hire me because I wanted everybody to know about it. I'm like, everybody needs to hear about this. But the bonuses are great. So when you bring people in, if you are just a regular driver and you actually download the app and get the cash advance, you can refer a friend. You get a bonus for that. But if you actually want to become an ambassador, you can also make great money. I don't know if I can disclose the amount that I make, but it's very lucrative business, I'm telling you.
Okay. So, I'm definitely going to go through this, and I'm not that I'm going to become an ambassador, but I will refer. I mean, this really sounds like a great idea for word of mouth, as far as, if you have passengers in your car, you can pass out certain things. Maybe they'll give you a QR code. But I think this is a great word of mouth business that you guys can build on your own. The other thing is that actually caught my eye in the questions is Brandon says max as rideshare is 1,000. Is that correct, Marian?
You get up. Okay, sorry.
Also, no, that is not correct. Like again, the ratio goes from anywhere between $300 and $2,000 for a rideshare driver.
Okay, so I have one of those too. See, I have one of
Yes.
those too. There you go.
You get up to 2,000.
Now, to end this segment is like, how do they get in touch with you? Obviously, we have the link in the show notes as far as the company is concerned, the website. You guys can send me the questions for the first couple of weeks. I'll play Ualett tech support here, or any kind of support, and then I'll forward everything to Marianne, and I'll forward everything to Nofe, and you guys handle it from that point on. But for the first 2 weeks, I'm here, Sergio at RideShareGuy.com. Anything in closing, guys? I mean, Nofe, I will definitely have you on again at some point, because you're like, your energy is like. You see, Chris was sick, had a cold. He's all fine now. So
thank the Lord.
You're like the vitamin C. I'm not sure what's going on here.
The vitamin Nuffy.
There you go.
There you
That's
go.
a good business idea right there. Go ahead, Marion.
If anyone has any questions, they can also look for our website, which is ualett.com. Go to the chat, and they will be able to chat with a live agent and have any questions answered right there. Okay. Just make sure you don't get bombarded with all of these questions from.
Well, I become Uber Lyft support anyway, so we'll just send Ualett to it.
We have an amazing customer service team. They will help you. They're very, very good. They will help you through the process. Even though the app is very user-friendly, it's very easy and simple. Anybody can do it. But if you ever get stuck anywhere, our customer service is one of the greatest teams ever. Trust me when I say that.
Well, we're going to find out, because I'm sure I'm going to need customer service. But
there's a couple of people asking what would be the payback for something for $1,000. Do you have that, or can share that?
It will depend, because it will change depending on the amount of weeks that you select in which you want to repay.
Right. So I'm assuming that the longer the duration is, the higher the payback is going to be, correct?
Yeah. So they will need to get qualify for a deal. But guys, you will be able to see all of the information prior to sign anything, prior to get the funds, prior to repay the funds. So the breakdown is extremely clear on the app. So you will always know what you're signing for and what you're getting.
Okay, there's another good question. Can you transfer funds to others? Well, I guess once you get the funds, you can do whatever you want with the money. So
it goes to
your
bank account.
As long as you pay, well, think about it. If you got to pay for your car to get fixed, you got to transfer that money to the dealer, or to the person fixing your car. So
you can send it to me if you want.
So no, it's gonna connect to your bank account. So the funds goes to your bank account, your personal bank account, and then or your business bank account. So depends on the bank account that you put in the system, it goes in there, and you can do whatever you want to do with the money as soon as it gets to your bank account.
That's another question that popped up in my head now. So just like we as Uber drivers or Lyft drivers, DoorDashers, whatever we are, we attach a bank account to the app, and then every week on Tuesday you get your cash, or unless you do instant pay or whatever you do. But assume that, so this is the same kind of process, right? You have to attach a bank account, and then the funds, once you get the deal done, it goes into your bank account.
Yes, yes.
Exactly. And another important thing is that you guys can select in which day you want to get charged. Okay. So the repayments, if you get paid on Tuesdays, then you can select your repayment date to be Wednesdays, for example. So you will make sure all the funds are there. If you have instant payment, then if it's more convenient for you on Thursday, then you can select Thursday. So it doesn't need to be on the specific day in which you take the deal.
Cool. So anything else to add? Chris, you have any questions?
No, I don't have. I have a comment though, which I said earlier in the green room, and I think it was before you came on, Sergio. But I'm like, how many people right now are listening or watching at this?
I was there. Yeah.
That you have your check engine light on right now, and you just covered it up with tape because you don't want to see it. You don't want your passengers to see it, and you're putting off trying to get your car fixed because you don't have the extra money. Well, something like this could definitely help you out in that aspect. So you have a safe car. It's reliable. Because that's one of the big things. Like every time before I got my new car, when the check engine light came on my other car, I'm like, you just get that bad rush of bad juju there. And so like I just I put a piece of tape over the tire pressure sensor, not the check engine light. I had a little I had my little engine reader, my code reader that I just turned it off. So it would turn it off, but it was the same dang code every time. And it was annoying because it was one of those things where it was like, if the temperature wasn't at the right temperature when it was reading, which at that point, because, you get a little bit of problem with the car over that amount of time. So it was just something that I could have pulled out and cleaned and then it would have been okay. But it was just like, it's 4 degrees outside. I'm not. But when it comes to you guys, if you got the check engine light on, you put a little tape on, maybe think about getting it fixed. Just saying.
Okay,
then,
so just the last 5 comments, Chris. Look at that. It goes, last year twice I had that. The other one says, just need the tune-up. Okay, well, there you go. And then another gentleman or viewer says, well, how long do we have to? Okay, so all these technical questions we answered already, so you can watch the replay or you can shoot support at Ualett, the questions that you guys have. Or better yet, go download the app, go through the process until you click deal. There is no deal. So you can see all the numbers up front, all the small print. Honestly, there isn't anything hidden on it.
Yes,
so
no hidden, no.
code Ride 10. It's going to work according to Marion. Marion, get with it.
You're putting me on the spotlight, but yeah. So you download the app, complete the profile, and test it.
That's it.
Even if you don't take the cash advance, just go and download the app and see how easy it is to get a cash advance. You don't even have to select the deal. Just download it, create your account, verify your email, verify your identity, and then just see how easy it is. And then you would know that we're telling you the truth.
One of our members says, Marianne, who owns Ualett? Is it a publicly traded company? Buddy, you're going into like inside information now, because I'll give you that information. I don't even know if I don't think they're publicly traded yet. But after 8 weeks, when we have their numbers go up like 800%, then maybe like, okay, let's go to Wall Street now. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, check under the hood, no
Look
engine.
what Tony put. Checked under the hood, no engine. What do I suggest? You have a Tesla. You either have a Tesla or put some tape on it.
Yeah. Cover the engine or motors with
Chris. He's talking about this.
Well, that's what I did with my tire pressure sensor. I was so annoyed at seeing it. Like, I understand. You got all these sensors in the car, but I'm not spending $100 and something to get it replaced because over 100,000 miles, the battery decides to go dead. I'm like, I'm not replacing that sensor. I don't need it. It's not required. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tack it up with some tape. I didn't need to look at it. My passengers didn't need to know that it was on or not, and my tire pressure was perfectly fine.
Well, now you don't have that problem. Now you don't have that problem. You got the. No,
I don't have that problem. Yeah.
So like, hey,
No, I got nitrofill.
Okay, Ualett is spelled W. Yeah, we are. Right here, buddy. Right here. See, the U goes into the A. Kind of looks like a W. Come on, now get with the program here. Okay.
No. It's very important that we clarify. It's Ualett, not to be mistaken for Wallet. No. Yes. Ualett. Ualett.
It's Ualett, but we pronounce this as Ualett. Okay.
Yes.
So, okay. Anything else, ladies? I think this is like awesome. But again, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna walk you guys through it. Let's see what I'm worth. Maybe I'm worth $500. They'll give me $500. And actually, what? This is another good question that I actually asked Marianne, but I'll ask her again. When I first met her. Okay, what if somebody stiffs you, doesn't pay you back? What happens then? I mean, that happens. That happens.
Well, this is the thing. Based on the loyalty program that we have, and all of the benefits that the clients can keep unlocking, the more deals you take, I highly doubt someone will not want to repay.
Right. Okay. So Marianne, here, Brandon is really trying to get on this thing. Okay. So he goes, can't create an account. Says I need to be invited. So answer that, and then we'll finish on that one.
Okay, Brandon. So let's do something. Go to the Ualett website. Send us your name and your phone number, and I will be able to send you an invitation so you will be able to create the account like today, as of right now, before Chris and Sergio complete the podcast for today.
There you go. Brandon. This is what we do. Instant satisfaction. Right?
Exactly. That's Ualett. We're more than a cash advance.
Exactly.
Marianne, thank you so much. And Nofe Liberté. you're like, I don't know. I'm like, we had Roxy, our favorite, a while ago. I think you may have topped Roxy, so I'm not sure.
Sunshine. She's sunshine.
You know what I mean? It's
Everybody
like
do your own
it's a
thing.
close race. So, but you know what we should do? I probably should do an article on you. There you go, and then you get your 10 minutes of fame that way. So, but thank you guys. Thank you for showing up. If there's anything in closing, please go ahead. The floor is yours.
Just as I said before, go there, download the app, and complete your profile. Take a
There
deal.
you go. And how about you, Nofe?
Within 24 hours, we just say 24 hours to be safe, but it's less than 24 hours. You get the cash advance, flat fee, no credit check. We're not like other companies, those predatory companies. No, we flat. Remember the word flat. No 1 cent more. Flat.
Flat. Ocean is flat behind me. So, with that said, thank you guys. We'll see you soon, I'm sure. We're gonna, just to throw it in. For the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna wear this. How about that?
Oh,
That's it. There we go. So, thank you for coming on. We'll see you guys soon. Talk to you soon. Have a great day wherever you are. And thanks again.
Appreciate you.
Yes,
Thank you so much, Sergio and Chris. Keep doing the work. Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys for coming on. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye now.
All right.
All right.
So that is the intro to Ualett.
Let me go change my shirt now.
Well, in any event, there may have just been a disconnect on when it started. So for those who are actually trying to get your cash advance already and running into problems, just send Sergio an email, because Sergio will make sure everything gets going. Worst case. No, that's worst case. Or you can do it to the Marion, and they will take care of you there. So especially those who are in need of repairing your car in any way, shape, or form, or just need some extra money, a great little way there for you. And again, use our Ride 10 to get 10% off your first deal. So that is even better there.
Try their support first before you bombard me with emails, please. Okay,
well, I don't think, hey, if you're Uber and Lyft support, I think you're going to get more emails about that versus Ualett. So
no. But anyway, so all right. So what is happening in our world of rideshare, buddy? So how's you feeling good? You can last an hour or so?
Oh, I'll go. It's just no. So get this. So last night, I start feeling something in the back of my throat. I'm like, oh great. Just before that, I had the pressure. Like my ear was getting a little pressure, so it was a little quiet. And I'm like, oh, like I didn't think anything of it, because every once in a while that happens. But then I felt something in the back of my throat, and so I go and do the salt and vinegar water mix to kind of like gargle it and feel better. And it usually does its due diligence there, but last night I go lay down, and it just hit me right as I laid down, and it was the worst night. I couldn't get any sleep or anything, and it was just one of those things. It's orientation of your body. So I was laying down. When I stood up or something, it was pretty much fine. Like my throat kind of stopped its issue, and the snot and mucus and all that crap that kind of fixed itself. So it was just one of those things that was just more annoying. So it's like not too bad or anything, but it's just an annoyance over anything. So I don't have the cough. I don't have any of that crap. So we'll be good to go.
I cough because I smoke. But anyway, so I got to quit that. But should we go to our first topic?
Oh, we're going to start right away. And that is, first off, don't forget, it is the almost end of May. We got one more week after this. So you pretty much got 1 week left. So we are doing our Show Me the Extra Mile Sunshine Award in accordance with our Sunshine Man, Jeff. Whether he's here or not, I'm not sure. But yes, with Jeff, he is pretty much the judge and the person who takes all these stories and gives the winner. So if you have one of those stories that you go above and beyond during a ride, during even a delivery, whatever it might be, send it to Sergio. There's Jeff. So Sergio will send that over to Jeff, and Jeff will pick the winner. You will win $100 for going above and beyond. in a world full of negativity, we're trying to bring out some positivity in the world. In fact, we have our April Show Me the Extra Mile Sunshine Award winner. That will be on Thursday, his interview that he had. So look forward to that coming on Thursday morning. It's 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, or 8 a.m. Pacific. So you can see his story. Nathaniel was our first winner. Oh, yeah, and the article. Nathaniel was our first winner, and his is already out, so you can check that out. And yeah, we're looking for our May one. So if you got a great story, something that you went above and beyond, something that you could share, something that you helped out with when it came to passenger or customer, something that happened around your car, whatever it might be during your ride, then let us know. Let Sergio know. Send screenshots if you can, just to help that, so we can go on even more.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. I think have like 2 or 3 candidates. With that, I forward to Jeff. So you guys have a week. Please send me some good stuff you did. I mean, I get it, but I'm sure one of you 10,000 that watched this is like something good happened, something you did good. You walked a lady across the street. I don't know. You folded somebody's wheelchair. Send me some merch, man. Come on, man. There we go. So, but yeah. So, Show Me the Extra Mile Sunshine Award. Last month's winner was Jeff Havlin from Louisville, Kentucky. His article is in the pipeline. It's coming out, as well as the video. Amazing story, truly. The first 2 months, Chris, were amazing. 2 amazing stories. So hopefully this month we'll keep pace with that. But that's where we are.
Yeah, and we're going to mention May's one more time, because then after that, you believe May's almost over already, and it's going into June.
I know.
Wow, 6 months of the year already.
Yeah.
Good, Tony. I'm glad to hear it's a Tesla. By the way, liking the videos with the full self-driving. I'm going to give you a run for your money, though, with the Honda Pilot's self-driving, the lane assist that likes to work when it wants to or doesn't.
All right. So
let's get into our first topic, and that's pretty much talking about today's title. Lyft is soaring, Uber's sliding. So we're seeing massive changes when it comes to Lyft. We're seeing positive changes, things that we like. We can't really call out too much negativity, because right now it's all changes in drivers' favors. So that's always a good thing. We talked about the switcheroo, one of those things where you could potentially switch if you want, but it's going to be up to you as a driver to choose if you want to switch or not, being able to see that upfront information. We talked about how scheduled rides are easier to see. We're talking about how, different things are easier, and there's more information. Well, guess what? We have more information now. And as you can see on the screenshot, we are now seeing where the pickup and drop off are. No more is it just giving you the old way. Yeah. We're actually seeing the true same thing that Uber was showing when it comes to the upfront, which is nice. So if you are watching this, if you're listening, I'm sorry, I'll try to explain it. But if you're familiar with the Lyft upfront screen, what you used to see, which is the middle screenshot, you'd see the 4 minutes to pick up and 1.2 miles, but it wouldn't show you where. And then, it'd give you the time and distance for the actual trip duration underneath that, but you wouldn't be able to see the location. Now it is showing you with the location. So you're seeing the cross section of the streets, which is great to see. So that's just good, more information. So you know exactly where it is at a glance, instead of having to look down, see what everything is, then look at the map to see what that's going on. Even though you get 15 seconds on Lyft, it's just good to be able to have it safer, because you only have to look at half of your screen instead of the other half.
Yeah. I mean, it's more information again. Now, actually, in a good way, Lyft copied Uber, and now you get the whole information. While actually Uber's going backwards. Remember what Uber is doing now, right? In a lot of states, they call it the easier to read screen, BS, whatever. And now they're combining the pickup and the drop off together with, so they're going backwards, actually, literally. They're going backwards. So Lyft is going to show this, and whoever this driver was, smart driver, has got Maximo working there. Give him all the breakdown immediately. Congratulations, sir. And on the right screenshot is from my app. So this showed up the other day. Now, you guys may have had this, but whenever shows up new to me, I'll show it to you guys. So obviously we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, or maybe last week, the airport arrivals, as far as, there are like 3 or 4 major airports other than, LAX, obviously LAX being the second busiest airport in the country. It not only gives you all the information about airport arrivals, right? How many people are going to land, how many planes, which is great information in your fingertips that they didn't have before. Obviously, we all know they give you the streak zones and the streaks and then what times they are. But now I noticed, this was like, maybe I didn't notice it, maybe it was there, maybe it was my ignorance, but I don't think it is, because I look at my app every couple of hours. I saw this little calendar up top, which you can scroll right and left, by the way. It's not a static, calendar. So, and you can click on the day and it will give you the details of, like, let's say up top, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It gives you your streak values for the whole day. So, automatically on Monday, you can make an extra 24. Tuesday, you can make an extra 24. And if you do click on the day, it gives you the breakdown of like when the streak is, what the zones are, and how much the streak value is. I mean, look, man, I'm telling you, Chris, since this guy showed up, the app has improved. Now, they still have glitches when it comes to, that little yellow man that, on the GPS pickup stuff, and they still have their problems. But as far as information to the driver, this is amazing, right? I mean, to me, it's like, hey, this is all improving, stuff to me. People are going to say, of course, which our crowd is a little bit of a negative Nellies. They will say, well, this doesn't make me any more money. The minimum fare is still $262. I agree. However, if you use this information properly and learn how to stack your bonuses, now that you don't have to dig through the app to find this information, it's at your fingertips. You just go at it. It's right in front of you. And, you can decide to work, okay, well, there's an $18 3-streak zone. Hey, I'm out there. Let me just go get it. So information is power. So the more information you have, and if you use it properly, you can make more money automatically. There you go.
P, power.
P, fourth.
Well,
either
way,
this is the
that's the third P, because that is planning and giving that ability to. What was the fourth P?
Okay, so we go. First of all, the original 3 is patience, right? Position and planning. Yep. The 5th one, when we did our education series, called profitability.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And the 5th one now we just came up with power. Of information. Boom.
Yes.
5.
So there you go. Now we got the 5 Ps. We're gonna have to update that video.
5 Ps. Yeah.
In any event. In any event, though, it's just good to have that more information, because, like I say, if you can see that information in a small area, or you have quicker access to it, again, you can plan out how you want to go, how you want to work the app, how your ride is going to be beneficial to you or not. So all of these things are going to help you actually, yes, make more money. Granted, it's not going to improve when it comes to the ride offers that are coming in. That's just one of those things, again, where patience is going to take the key. And that is something where don't accept every ride if it's not worth your time. If it's below your profitability costs or your margin, then don't take it. But if it's above that and it takes you where you want to be, then you might want to take it. And then you can even slide that.
Decline garbage, know your worth still exists. That has not left the building, okay? That's always going to be there for all the CPU members or AFU members. You guys know. One of my 2 favorite Jeffs says, Sergio, next week, a pink hat and a shirt. No, man. No, I'm going to wear this for the next 2 weeks. I promise the ladies.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the deal. If David Risher comes on to the show, we will wear our pink.
Guaranteed.
I'll wear my 1K jacket. Or I do have a Lyft pink t-shirt, actually. I just don't know where it is. I think it's in storage. But I do have a Lyft pink t-shirt.
You have the mustache?
No, I don't have the mustache. I have a t-shirt. When I did when I was a DAC member on Lyft.
The mustache on the back of me. David Risher, if you're watching, if you're coming on, send me one of those mustache. I'll put it right behind me. Background. There you go.
Somebody said the switcheroo is still happening. It's not everywhere. They're testing it out. So it's a step in the right direction.
Yes, it is.
So they're testing it. They're checking it out. But either way, yeah, one of the things that you said, the app seems to work better, or at least having more information. And it's not like Uber's where you're having glitches upon glitches. You're not seeing where your surge is, or maybe that's part of the new app. You don't know what a glitch is. You do know what a glitch is when it comes to Uber. But, when Lyft takes away 26% of its staff and brings it down to a even more manageable number, and then probably could be one of those things where there might be more layoffs coming very soon. Who knows? That's just all going to play into, I think, more smooth maneuverability when it comes to a coding standpoint, because you don't have all of these people working on 12 different things where it could overlap and create problems. And I think that's one of the things that Uber is doing, and it's actually starting to harm them a little bit from things that we've seen, things that we noticed, especially you people who are watching, reaching out to Sergio and sending everything. We're able to see all of that because I'm in Buffalo, he's in LA. We don't know what's going on maybe in South Florida where this whole surge issue was going on. We talked about that last week. So if you want to know more about that,
guess what?
Check out that.
Guess what? It's happening in LA now. It's happening in LA.
Ooh, I haven't seen an issue in Uber when it comes to the surge, but I also haven't seen the other side too. I'm still getting ride bonuses. I'm not getting the Quest goals yet, so that's still a good thing. I'm okay with that.
That's horrible. That's horrible, bro. It's like I got one this week. Okay, my lowest one, which I always pick, $210. Okay, how much do you think my dollar bonus was for Chris for $210, which is 21 trips? Let's say if I did $10 trips,
I'm gonna say $15.
10.
Oh my God!
If I did another 100, and if I did another 100, it's another $5. Uber.
Oh my God!
We are not working for peanuts. This is not the peanut gallery. I am definitely not going to drive for you. Guaranteed.
Look at that! I just got like this is the time where I get my weekend quest. So I just got the weekend quest. Still, same thing. 60 trips, 225, 10 more trips, 60.
You're lucky, bro. You're
70
lucky,
trips
bro.
this weekend, and that's almost $300 in promos. You know what? I gotta say, the last couple of weeks on Uber though, they've been really showing the money on my end when it comes to these quests and all that, especially on the weekends. I mean, even on the weekdays, usually they're lower. I think the max this weekend was 135 for the week. But yeah, not too bad.
Well,
I'll take it. So
I have the dollar. I have the dollar goal now. I don't have that anymore. So every couple 3 months, 6 months, when they change quests, it gets worse. And now it's like down to this that I'm like, okay, well, until you show me the real money, I'm not going to work. I'll go do food deliveries. I mean, hey, you know what? It's okay. Whatever. There's 8.
All right.
Well,
well, what is one thing that drivers have been hating? That's in some markets that they just hate that type of ride and they want to turn it off if they can. What type of ride is that?
Underage minors.
Well, that would be great, but we're not talking about Uber Teen. We talked about that. We'll briefly mention that. No, that's shared rides. Shared rides. So drivers don't really...
it's not shared anymore. They call it something else now.
Oh yes, they call it
Uber
carpool.
What the?
So this is something that you got when it comes to
no shit. Uber introducing. See, okay, you know what this is called, Chris? You can put the best lipstick on a pig. Pig's still a pig. You know what I'm saying? The name changed from Uber Pool to Uber X Shared to something else, and now this is it. Now, finally, Uber Carpool. Genius. You know what though?
Here's the thing. This is
the PR people there.
Carpool. Look, here's the thing. This is what the third or fourth iteration of shared rides, and they're continually having to rebrand it. I think the reason is because it's just not working. Whether drivers are saying no, I don't want to take a shared ride, or it's the passengers saying I don't want to take a shared ride either. So they're trying to come up with this. I mean, if you're watching, if you're listening, we'll say, but it says right on you get the Uber, you get that graphic, and then it shows introducing Uber Carpool, and then right underneath that you're saying pay 35% less for your commute. So that is their selling point.
But see on the right screenshot, this is from my passenger app, by the way. So it says save a seat on an Uber carpool ride available during peak commute hours. Okay. And lock in your price. Great. You can expect to pay 35% less than you paid for Uber X asterisk. And this time I made sure I got the clarification for asterisk. You will laugh at it at the end. So I'm going like, okay, you know, now, is this smart? I would say yes. Okay, so don't send me hate mail, please. Why? Because Lyft is abandoning, you know, shared rides. Okay, they're not going to do shared rides anymore. They're getting out of the business of shared rides or pool, right? Well, Uber, the smart as they are, they go, oh, well, we can actually, because look, there are a certain part of the, you know, passenger base that like share rides. You know, they have the, you know, they have the wine taste with a beer budget, and they take those, you know, trips. Well, and since Lyft is going to quit doing it, where do you think all those people are going to go? They're going to go to Uber, and Uber goes, oh yeah, we love carpool now, and we're expanding it. I'm like, yeah. So Lyft gave up the market to Uber, and Uber took it. I'm not going to blame them, you know. And here's that little asterisk that you always ask me, Chris. So this time I made sure I put it in there. Discount applies only to requests made up to 30 days in advance. I have to book my carpool ride? What kind of bullshit is that? I mean, if I want to get it, you know, by the way, I checked the passenger app. The difference, if you don't do this, you know, the 30-day in advance booking of your carpool trip, the difference is about 7%, by the way, between Uber X and Uber Carpool now. I have to get my lingo correct on this one. So I don't think I'm going to take a chance being late to wherever I'm going for 7%. I think I'm just going to order an Uber X. So, you know, maybe Lyft, you know what? Maybe Lyft did it the right thing. They go, you know what? It's a money-losing proposition for us. The passengers hate it because they never get there on time. They're complaining. Drivers are complaining because they're working 3 times as hard to make less money. So screw it. Let's get rid of it. Clean it up. Good for Lyft. And Uber goes, no, we're going to head dive into the ocean behind me. I'm like, good. Knock yourselves
out. Not only that, they're also doubling down with group share. Remember, that's one of the things that they announced last week when it came to their Go Get was this group share thing. So essentially what it is, it's carpool for your group. So like there's 2 facets now of it where they're having this Uber carpool and then they're having the Uber group share. So that's one thing. But you know, the other thing too that I find absolutely hilarious, underneath that little asterisk there that you just read, it says, besides it says terms are subject to change. So always read the fine print because it doesn't mean anything until you actually hit order. I mean, things can always change up until that moment. So that's one thing to pay attention to. But I love this little thing underneath this. And I think they put it in there for a reason because drivers don't necessarily want to do shared rides. It says Uber does not guarantee that a driver will accept your ride request, which means you might order it, but nobody's coming for you. And it says your ride is confirmed once you receive your driver details. So if you don't receive your driver details, your ride is going in limbo. And let me tell you, I was scrolling through Facebook the other day. And I was going to text you this, and I didn't. But basically, it was somebody in one of the Uber pages that I belong to, and it was a ride that was coming in, absolutely ridiculous. And he's like, "Stop sending me this request. It's already been bouncing around for the last 30 minutes." So that's when that person potentially had got it. Was about 30 minutes so far. I don't know if anybody ever took it. I don't know what happened from that, but still, it's like, you know, if that type of ride is just going there and waiting for, you know, purgatory, well, good luck. That means you got to raise the rates.
You know what we call trip radar, right, people? We call it, it's the lounge where rides go to die because nobody accepted it. Can you imagine that trip radar, Chris, with all the pool
trip radar is like ride purgatory. You don't know if you're going to get a ride or not. Like, what was that one time? We had the screenshots where it's like 2 hours or an hour and a half went by, and the price didn't really change at all for that entire time, except for like, once I think it came in at like 8:30 or something, or 8:20, and then once it hit like the 10 o'clock time, that's when it jumped up. So who knows what's going on?
This is your trip radar folks are going to be full of Uber. What do you call that? Uber carpool. I got to get that straight. Uber carpool trips now.
All I know is I'm just glad we don't have that in our market.
And you can opt out, by the way, so don't get a heart attack, people. You still can opt out now.
Just like
I don't know, you know, but
All right. Well, first thing, we're gonna give some money away now. Let's have a little fun because, you know, unfortunately, we like giving money away. It lightens the mood. It's good. there's a lot of bad Uber stories that we got to pull out today because, well, again, Uber's sliding. I don't know what's going on with them. They're sliding. Their heads are too focused on money or something, profitability. So they're trying to squeeze driver pay. They're trying to change all these things to make you accept these rides because they're not pricing them correctly in any way. They're trying to fight Minneapolis and Illinois and all that stuff. So let's give away some money right now. We are going to do #money in the live chat. So if you are in the live during Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific during our show, because we get people in the comments who are watching the replay of this. This does not apply to the replay. You need to be in the live in order to get the money because we do it live. So right now it's #money. Enter #money. You can win $25. Again, in the live chat only. This is not going to be in anything beyond that. So
all lowercase #money. Thank you, people. So we'll do in a couple of segments and we'll come back and give you the money. By the way, you know, I know we did the special. Please go watch that special about the Uber Go Get 2023. I read it today, and I can confirm that it's on the Uber website, buddy. It's not for me. I can confirm. You know what one of our bigger problems was that one of our viewers came up with it during that special, right? They said, well, can one 13 to 17-year-old order, you know, the teen ride, Uber teen, right? Yeah. And they can go pick up and like 3 more teens, right?
Oh, great. So it's
yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Shared. Oh, yeah. God.
Yes, they can. And it's on the Uber website. Yes, they can. So that was what I go like, not a chance on the planet that's happening. And the website says you have to abide by the TOS and make sure his buddies or her buddies who are getting in the car after she get in are also between 13 and 17. So that's my call now. I'm like, bullshit. Not happening.
So here's the thing, drivers, first off, just to go in your Uber app, go down to where your preferences are, click those 3 little dots, you get all your preferences. So if you want to do Uber Connect, Uber X, Uber XL, Comfort, whatever you have access to, then scroll down to the bottom, it'll say Uber Teen, Uber X Teen, and then it'll say on or off. If you don't want those requests coming in, they'll filter them out for you. You don't have to deal with teens. You don't have to deal with any of that crap. So that's up to you. And it's only available in certain markets. It's not available everywhere. But for the people who are watching right now in the chat or who are post the live and want to know, first off, are you opted into taking teens? Are you opted out? Why? And what is your market? Just so we know. Put it in the chat, please. Let us know.
I'm doing an article on this because I'm gonna actually send the article to Sachin. I have his email address. I'm gonna do all the questions that our viewers came up with during the live. There were such amazing questions, you know, about the curfew, about what happens if a parent doesn't say okay, you know, all this good stuff. So articles coming, Sachin. So you answer those questions, you know. So
all right, well, that's the, you know, one of the things when it comes to Uber Teen, if you're taking it or just if you're taking rides in general, you should definitely have a dash camera. You know, we're gonna continue mentioning this DisplayRide dash camera because one, DisplayRide is giving SMTMC viewers 20% off. So instead of having it for $25 a month, you're getting it for $20 a month with the code RSG20. So that is awesome there. So you're saving money right there. But you're also getting a dash camera that is going to provide the data right to the cloud. So if anything happens, any issues, it's to the cloud. So you can take care of it. You can live stream, all that good stuff. This is something that we do really, truly recommend when it comes down to it because you just need a dash camera. Dash cameras don't lie. They tell you exactly what happened. They don't take sides. They just record exactly what happened. So that is great. We do recommend the DisplayRide camera just because of that cloud feature, because of all the other features that it does have, like live streaming, like periodic audio alerts, summary videos, all rides, all of that good stuff. You got it. So it's definitely a dash camera we recommend. Sergio, I don't know if you got anything more to say with that, but when it comes to teens, this is something you definitely need to have in your car because when it comes to the he said, she said stuff, when it comes to the problematic passengers, when it comes to the he said, she said there, when it comes to somebody claiming false reports, my driver didn't pick me up, it was somebody else, blah, blah, blah. We all know those bullshit ones. those bullshit excuses that they come up with to try to get a free ride or whatnot. That's all going to be right there. They have a special deal too with legal rideshare. So if there's an accident or something, one, you're going to have it recorded, which is another perk. Everything is recorded there. So pay attention, be professional, and always be safe on the road. But it's going to be one of those things that it could be definitely potential to really help you in the event that somebody hits you or there's an accident. Anything that could happen that can help you win your case, that is going to be good. And then also they do have a thing that they can work with Uber and Lyft, where they can send the dash camera footage to them in the event that there's an issue as well. So those are all great perks to have when it comes to DisplayRide, and it's just one of those things. So
I have one. I love my camera. You know, I even when I'm doing deliveries, doesn't matter. You know, I park in a way that, you know, I get the angle of the house once in a while. Like if I park in the driveway, it's kind of recording. I'm walking to the door to drop the food off, so I'm just kind of figuring out how to optimize the usage of it for deliveries. Look, man, for rideshare, $20. I keep saying this every week. I'm gonna say it until kingdom come. It's seriously, it's a Big Mac meal, man. You know? Yeah, sorry, Beth. I apologize.
Beth, you know what? Email me.
Email me. I'll forward your email to the CEO. Sergio at the RideShareGuy.com. They had demand because we're pushing it, obviously, and you know. They got 1,000 cameras a couple of weeks ago. They got through them, and they're getting another 1,000. So please email me. I'll forward your complaint to the CEO, Sergio at the RideShareGuy.com.
That's taken care of you.
That's right. And,
so Beth,
he does respond, by the way. Chris knows. So, and Vanessa Battles, new member. Thank you so much. You know, there's one other thing actually. This caught my eye here. You guys forgot to mention another improvement for Lyft. Now you can, what, really? Are you serious? LAX? We used to love that, man. Is it back, really? Holy crap, that's awesome. We used to set our DF at LAX and just take a ride home. But now with upfront fares, you know, you're seeing where the passenger's going anyway. It's kind of moot, really. DF kind of lost its, you know, value for me because you know where they're going. But, you know, that's great, though. Let's see. David Risher, thumbs up, buddy. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
And David, we're not just trying to kiss your ass to get you on the show. Trust me.
No, seriously.
We're gonna give you props. Like we said, we are gonna give you some time to adjust. There are gonna be some growing pains probably as well. So we're gonna call you out on that too. But so far, a lot of the changes that Lyft has been making is actually positive changes. You know, I don't. You know, here's the funny thing. I was going over Kim's video earlier that she's going to have not on. It's going to be next Friday, but I was going over that one that she sent in, and the one thing that she was talking about was the DoorDash market share. It's like what 60% or something, 63%. And I'm like, when she said that, I'm like, now what would happen if DoorDash and Lyft just decided to combine each other and become one super app? You would be at the level of Lyft or at the level of Uber, or even slightly bigger because of some of the market share that you could potentially, you know, even yourself out at. So I'm just thinking, oh, that would be good there, but we'll see what happens. I don't think that's going to happen, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah. So
Logan Green's job at Lyft was figurehead. I don't know.
Hey, New Zealand. BAMS Corp. Thank you much.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
How's the weather there?
Ooh, I know. It's
gorgeous
actually
area.
in New Zealand.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, man. Right now, actually, they're going fall now. They're going to go into winter pretty soon.
Yeah, but you know what? Their winter and their fall is nothing compared to something that I have to look outside.
No, you. I don't know. you. I don't know how you survive for 35 years on this planet. It's like. But so anyway, what else? Salim is doing his usual hateful thing, you know, because we're not going to, you know, look, whoever the moderators are, don't get rid of them, because, you know, we need that kind of negativity on the chat. Go ahead.
Oh, it don't matter.
Whatever.
All right.
We don't mind him now. I got used to him now. So I hear his Zionist, whatever. I go, okay, buddy, whatever. Just knock yourself out.
All right. So let's move into the changes that are happening in Illinois. Let's move into the changes that are happening in Minnesota.
Oh, the money, baby.
this legislation that's happening. It passed in Minnesota. Did it get signed yet?
Not yet. The governor's dicking with it.
You better sign it. I mean, come on.
Well, no. When we get there, I'll tell you what will happen there. It's okay. Even if he doesn't sign it, it's okay. Even if he doesn't sign it, it's okay.
But either way, right now, Ubers with their usual scare tactics. They pulled this crap in California. They pulled this crap in Washington. They pulled this crap wherever they're throwing their little 2-year-old temper tantrum, which is seemingly to get louder and louder. But the problem is, you know what? I think a lot of these legislators have kids. Well, they're usually older, so yeah, they usually have kids. And I think they've dealt with their 2-year-olds, so they know how to deal with temper tantrums when it comes to these kids. So Uber, you can continue screaming and crying and moaning. We know you're not going to leave. We know you're not going to, just abandon, because you're not. We know for sure that's not going to happen. If you did, I'll stand corrected. But for the most part, I can 99.98% guarantee you ain't going anywhere. You're not going to pull up shop. Nope. If you had to deal with the legislation in Washington and in Seattle, which has higher rates than what Minneapolis has, then I'm sorry, Minnesota, then yeah, you're going to have some issues. So, but the thing is, you didn't pull out. You're still there. You're still giving rides. There's no issues. There's no problems. Drivers are happy. But you're kicking and screaming like a little 2-year-old, making yourselves look bad. So great. But yeah, we're going to be talking about some of the temper tantrums that Uber and Lyft are necessarily having in some of the.
Chris, mark that question with Barnes Corp, the super chat. We'll get to that answer, but answering that, it's pretty clear.
Okay.
So the second super chat, you see that one? Okay, so this is what's happening in Illinois. This is a quick snapshot of what's going on. Illinois and Minnesota are two different, obviously, bills that are happening. Okay. We'll talk Minnesota next. That's where the show me the money comes into play. This one, is taking away the common carrier exemption that Uber and Lyft had for a decade. They're basically, the legislature is saying, you have to now be considered just like the cabs, just like everything else, that they're playing under a different kind of set of rules. You guys have been playing with your own set of rules. No more. And Uber, of course, said, what'd they say, Chris? Oh, we're going to go. I honestly, one time, Uber, and Lyft. See, we don't give breaks to Lyft either. One time, when you do this, you know who I want to have on? This guy, Josh Gold. He's their a PR person. Every quote, he's in it. Josh Gold. I go, Josh Gold, if you're watching, come on down, talk to me. And they go, we're leaving. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One time.
Call if it's not a bluff, one time go. Because you know what? How did people function 10 years ago in Chicago without you? They got here A to B somehow, sometime. They did. So to me, throwing the fit and go like, I'm going to go. I'm like, okay, here's the door. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Okay. So Illinois bill says no more common carrier exemption for you. I'm like, okay. A bill in the state capitol will remove the exemption of drivers of rideshare apps like Uber and Lyft and lump them with carriers such as bus drivers, train conductors, airline pilots, taxi drivers who have vicarious liability. If a bus rider for an unsafe ride sues the driver, okay, the bus company can also be found liable. Are you watching this, Chris? This is the part that they don't like. Because if an Uber driver gets in a crash now people go, before they would go, oh, there's $2,500 deductible and go F yourself because you're on your own. There was no more of that because now the passenger can go after the company. That's what happens when you take the exemption away. Look, am I happy about this? I'm not happy about this. All I'm saying is I'm telling you what the law is. So stop the hate mail. Lyft officials are strongly opposed to the bill. Of course they are. They argue with the current laws in place, only 0.0002% of their riders have registered safety incidents. Yeah, but when you do 2 billion trips a quarter, that's 0.0. See how they play the game? See, 0.002% on 2 billion trips is a lot, buddy. It's
still more than one. Especially with so many carjackings and issues there.
Thousands.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. All right. So Uber is also against the bill. Shocking. They argue if the bill becomes law, it may cause them to end services in some parts of the state. Okay, have a nice day.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
impact service for users of the state. Okay. Disguised as a safety bill. Here's Josh Gold. I think this is Josh Gold. Safety bill. This legislation could make rideshare too expensive in many communities. I'm like, okay. It could also, by the way, when this is the other the sentence that I read on every opposition to this, all legislation. Rides are going to go up in price. You're going to lose your flexibility and freedom. Okay, I'm giving up my flexibility and freedom. I gave it up a long time ago because I don't think it exists anyway. But this part, Chris, irritates me more than anything else. When they say, "Oh, your fares are going to go up," okay, there was no legislation in 2019, in 2020, in 2021, in 2022. I would like to ask Josh Gold, the PR person, have you raised the rates by 50 to 70% nationwide in order to become a GAAP profitable company on your own without the legislation anyway? Have you? If the answer is yes, which we know it is, then I don't think this should be your point of view, saying that, oh, fares are going to be unaffordable. Well, they have becoming unaffordable anyway. So this is legislation that you need to kind of play by. And one of the reasons these entities have been so successful, this is the opposition now, says, have been costs involved that are not as great as the other entities. I agree. Like, cab companies, buses, they have other liability issues. So to me, the state passed it. I mean, the Senate passed it. And then they amended a little bit on the House bill. And this is on its way. This is going to J.B. Pritzker to be signed into law. So we have two of them now on the governor's desk. And Uber goes, wah, 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 we're going to leave. Well, okay. Have a nice day. There you go.
Yeah. And then here's...
Yeah, and this is an opinion bill, So whoever's in Illinois, please let us know if Uber is leaving and nobody's going anywhere. By the way, they have been showing the money. I get every screenshots, Chris, from Chicago drivers. They're absolutely killing it. It's become the number one city in the country to drive in because they're pouring the money. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, our Emmanuel that was on our town hall. He sent me last week's earnings. $3K, bro. It's like,
nice.
Show me the money, baby. So yeah, that's what's happening in Illinois. Governor is waiting to and make you guys just like a cab. Just like I've been saying for all these years. Cab company with an app. Now you guys are on the same playing field with the cabs. Have a nice day.
All right. Well, we're going to do the hashtag money in just a moment. But first, before that, Beth had asked about the email. It is Sergio at therideshareguy.com. So you can go there, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. Also, a couple of things when it comes to the super chats. I just want to mention that. So first off, Barnes, what's your thoughts on the employment?
Look, we do our surveys at the RideShare Guy. About 75 to 80% of drivers want to stay independent contractors. And that happened in Seattle, Washington State. It's about to happen in Minnesota. They're going to stay independent contractors, but I got a rate increase, but then they washed the bill down, which we'll talk about it in a minute. Look, there is no place that says, what Uber wants out of all this. They bitch and moan, stay where they are, give up, negotiate, whatever they do with their lobbyists. They want you to stay independent contractors. However, the law of laws that could supersede all of this is about to come in a couple of months from Washington, D.C., not state. That could supersede all this shit with one fell swoop, and you all will become Uber employees, DoorDash employees, Lyft employees. They have the power to do so. Now, will it happen? I don't know. I don't want to run my mouth about it. I have certain ideas about it. But I don't think it should be a federal situation. I think each state is handling this properly, one by one by one. Let the states handle this matter. That's
all right. William also said car service should be an upper tier luxury service, better than the bus. It shouldn't be cheap. True.
Well, this true. This is all it's doing is actually this bill was brought for the passengers liability, right? That the passenger now can sue, Uber, Lyft, which they couldn't do before. So that's why they're objecting to it, because No, they got to buy more insurance, liability insurance. And
so that means, you know what's going to end up happening? That just means that there's going to be more take. So when you look at your receipt after the passenger pays,
they're going to pass
instead
it
of
to
seeing
you.
instead of 60% Uber take, you're going to start seeing like 75% Uber take, 80% Uber take. You get 20% now.
Yeah, they're going to take it. Armando Gomez says 180 days new rideshare app in Florida, 10 cities. Okay. 50 cents a minute. This is $1.50. Okay, 50 cents a minute and $1.50 a mile, I'm assuming, to driver. Yeah, email me, Sergio@RideShareGuy.com. Let me know about it, what it is. There are a lot of apps that are there are a lot of apps out there. So
yeah, there's more and more coming. It's just a matter of if they're going to be able to continue on, if they're going to be able to do well.
To answer,
all right.
To answer Armando, listen, Armando, seriously, I would love to have my own app and would pay the driver all the money. The problem is not getting the drivers, buddy. The problem is getting the passengers. These people have a stronghold on these passengers. Although if their rates keep going up and up and up, the passenger drivers are going to look for an outlet. So this may be the right time for a competitor to come in. So let's give him some money now.
Yeah. The bill that Sergio was talking about is the PRO Act.
Yeah. Yep. The federal bill, yeah, it's the PRO Act.
Yep.
And it's coming, man. I'm telling you, Biden administration is just waiting for this lady, Julie Su, who was the author of AB5 in California, to get well, she's nominated already, but she's going through the process of getting approved as the Department of Labor secretary, because the old one left for $3 million or $20 million, $3 million, some ridiculous money to the NHL.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah. So if this lady shows up the day she's approved or whatever you want to call it, that's the day that the ruling is going to come. So you guys be careful.
All right. Well, let's give some money away, and then we'll move on to our next couple of topics. So, no, we got to get a good song. I'm telling you, I'll get something. Just remind me next week. Norma, congratulations, you have won. Or in other words, Jeff. So Jeff, congratulations. Appreciate that. Barnes, thank you again for the super chat there. You're on mute, Sergio. Still on mute there.
Apologies. Look, this legislative pressure is obviously getting to Uber and Lyft and all the other companies. And by the way, next Tuesday, we'll have a very special show that we're going to talk about California drivers in Prop 22 and how they're getting millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in their pockets that they should have gotten a long time ago. And we have something to do with that. But that's the whole show next week. Now you guys will know how hard we're working for you guys. So my point is, this happened in Illinois because the drivers got together and wanted this change. It's happening in Minnesota. It's happening in Washington State. It's happening in Nevada now. It's happening in Connecticut now. New York has it already. So state by state by state, the push is there. You guys, if you're supporting these bills, I am not in Illinois. I'll give you my opinion, but I'm not going to tell you what to do with it. Some drivers may not like this. And I'm not in Minnesota, so I'll give you my opinion. I read the bills. I'm not going to tell you to go call your legislature and push for it or pull it back. All I'm going to tell you is that read the bill, educate yourself. If you're for it, have your voice heard. Call your legislature, call your politicians, put your 2 cents in, email, do whatever you need to do. If you're for it, if you're against it, do the other way. Because if you're against it, Uber is helping you anyway by sending you the notification saying, oh, please vote against this or whatever. So I'm like, it's all good.
Yeah, just make sure you do your due diligence and know what it is, because we know how Uber and Lyft will try to take the furthest part of the truth and exploit that just to make it seem like it's so much worse or what they're doing is so much better or whatever it is. I would argue that that's like that close to lying, very close there. So yeah, it's just one of those things that just know what you're looking at, know what you're paying attention to, and just do your due diligence when it comes to it. So then you can say, yeah, I'm for it or I'm against it. But yeah, then after make your voice heard. Send your legislators exactly what you think, and let them know.
All
right. So let's move on. We talked about Illinois. Let's talk about another place.
Yeah.
So Minnesota.
Yeah, they passed this bill again is on the governor's desk, Governor Walz's desk. 3 things can happen with this. I'm going to go short and sweet, and I'll give you the numbers in a minute. He can veto it. He's a Democrat, by the way, so we'll see what happens. He can veto it, which will kill the bill. That's already passed by the House and the Senate. He can do nothing, which after a certain period of time, the bill will automatically roll into effect, or he can sign it and make it effective immediately. So those are the 3 possibilities. Now, this bill came with much higher expectations, by the way. It got watered down quite a bit. You guys can see on the second screenshot, on the Twin Cities area, this is literally a carbon copy of the Washington State bill, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Came with minimum wage, benefits, and all that stuff. In order to go this far, they watered it down, and they brought it to this level. $1.45 a mile. It started at like $1.85 a mile, and 55 cents a minute. They cut it to 34 cents. This is in the Twin Cities metro area. Just like Seattle has the highest rates in Washington State, Twin Cities metro has the highest rates within the city. Trips starting within that area is going to have the higher rates, $1.45 and 34. And outside those areas, it's going to be $1.25 and starting outside the metro area. There's also going to be a minimum $5 minimum trip fare as opposed to $3.25 or whatever it is. The other thing is another benefit of this, there is also unjust deactivation protection. So the bill got watered down to just these 2, the higher rates and unjust deactivations. They kept it in there. They passed it. And it's on the governor's desk for signature. And if he does sign it, look, a lot of people are saying, which one of them is in the chat. We were having a little Twitter battle the other day. They say, even Harry said this when he called me the other day. He says, look, when the rates go up, demand will go down. There's no question about that. I question that. I really do. So we will, time will tell. And Norma, oh, well, there you go. Isn't Minnesota the same state that just legalized all drugs? Yes, they did today. By the way, do any of these laws contribute to? No, they don't. You're still an independent contractor. You're not an employee. That's why they don't do SSI. But you got to do your own Social Security, and you got to do all on retirement as an independent contractor. But they passed this part of the bill, and that's what happened kind of in Washington State anyway. They passed the higher rates first, and then they keep adding, like they added a couple of weeks ago to paid time off and things like that, and healthcare. So it starts somewhere. It has started, and look, Uber and Lyft complained that the rates of fares are going to go up. Fares have been going up anyway. Just the drivers are getting their fair share. I honestly don't think it's going to affect the demand part. I don't think there's going to be a demand crush. Yes, they will have to raise the rates, granted, but it's going to a good place, which is the driver pockets. And if you were doing 100 trips with 60 cents a mile, now you have to do 50 trips with $1.45 a mile. So I don't think too many drivers are complaining. So, actually, Seattle demand did not go up. Seattle demand is down 6% because of the layoffs, high-tech layoffs. But after the bill went into effect, Seattle demand has not gone down. You can call Uber, which I have, and find out. Seattle demand has not gone down because the rates went up. So you guys know, people stay pay and demand be up like potentially. I'm glad that this went through. This look, drivers are gonna make more money. I mean, period. Now, I know Joe, our contributor, Chris, is in Minneapolis, right?
Yep.
Okay. He has upfront fares, which has nothing to do with miles and minutes, right?
No.
Okay. So are they going back to the regular rate card now? Is that what's happening?
They may do I don't know. They may have to do an estimate range, or
that'll be good to know.
Might be that they might say this is what it's expected to be, like the expected time and distance it would take in order for that ride. That's what I would assume, but I really don't know yet.
Like, you know, Washington State doesn't have the upfront fares. They have the mile and minute rates, right? So since they instituted these mile and minute rates, I'm assuming they're going to go back to
no, I think they still show pickup and drop off. They just don't show the price because it's based on time and mileage.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. In Minnesota, maybe they're going to go back to the same thing, but you know, with the rate card now as opposed to upfront fare. So
yeah, but I think there's still what they'll probably end up doing if they do a range, they could show a range, or they could just not have the upfront price there, but still have the pickup and the drop off. So you know where you're going, you know where you're picking somebody up, you know where you're dropping somebody off. Because that's what they do have in Seattle. So you can see the pickup and drop off there. You just don't know the price because it is based on that rate card. It's based on time. It's based on mileage. And it's not based on all these 412 different other factors that we have no effing idea what it is. So, I mean, somebody sneezed in Phoenix, so my rate in Buffalo decided to take 3 cent hit. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a good thing overall. Obviously, if the governor signs, look, Uber and Lyft said both we're going to leave. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Have a nice day. Again, you know, I keep saying have a nice day a lot now because, okay, go for it. Yeah. So the drivers, the driver said it feels awesome. It was a long, hard making this bill pass. They watered it down quite a bit, no problem. But the rates are going to be higher going forward. And in a statement, Uber said, Josh Gold, here you go. In a statement, Uber said, for months, we have begged legislatures to work with us on a compromise that raises rates for drivers without hurting riders. Again, you have been raising the rates since 2019 without sharing the wealth. Do not make this an excuse. So, and for months, our pleas were ignored. Yes, because it's not factual. People who know. Unfortunately, what we're left with is a bill rushed through in the final hours, watered down with your, with your lobbyists, by the way, that will leave hundreds of low-income and disabled riders. Look at this. Riders stranded and thousands of drivers without work. Bullshit, I call that. But that's okay. Lyft claims the bill.
Like I said, they go to the furthest point they can. It's still telling some sort of truth. Because yes, rates will rise. Yes, some people may not be able to afford it. But you know, the beautiful thing is there's still public transportation there. There's still buses there. It may not be pretty. It may not be good. You know, I've taken riders who had to go from, it was Amherst, New York to Niagara Falls. And it was like a 4-hour bus trip because they have to go into Buffalo. They got to get on the station right there to the bus up there. And it ends up taking like 4 hours. And I'm like, you do that every day? And she's like, yeah, 4 hours there, 4 hours back. So literally a third of your day. This is how her day works. She goes, a third of her day is on the bus. A third of her day is at work. A third of her day is sleeping or very close to it. There's like no time to have fun or enjoy. And it's like, hey, she's doing it. She might not want to. She may have to.
You
got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And Lyft claims the bill would destroy rideshare for the majority of Minnesotans. Okay. And would more than double ride fares. Well, let me tell you something. Lyft and Uber, I think all these will play themselves out. And then both Uber and Lyft said the urging Governor Tim Walz to veto the bill. All right. Well, if he does veto the bill, the bill's gone. So, next week we'll be talking to you about this. But I think they are playing the same game so much now. The Red Robin Riding Hood, like nobody freaking believes it because they're always yelling fire. Yeah,
well, it's like the boy who cried wolf.
Cry wolf, whatever. And then you also, they look, if you keep yelling fire this much, Uber and Lyft, when there's an actual fire, nobody's going to believe you. So stop yelling fire, bro. Norma, there we go.
I don't believe him. Talk is cheap. Action's where it's at. It's like when you say, oh, something happened, and then it's like, well, pics or it didn't happen. I tell my wife that all the time. I'm like, pics or it didn't happen. I think she said she was at work and, a couple of Buffalo Bills players walked in And I'm like, picks or it didn't happen. She's like, what is that supposed to mean? It's the same thing here. Put your money or put your action where your mouth is, Uber. You want to leave? I'd love to see it. I'd love to see you do it.
Yeah. And you
because
know,
then I'll be like, oh wow, they were actually telling the truth. But either
these are
way,
not
it's
small cities, by the way. They're not going to leave. Chicago is about 8% of their revenue, man. This is not going to happen.
oh, it's
So,
huge, yeah.
Jeff, we hear you. We hear you. I understand that. You know, I understand what you're saying. But at some point, Jeff, I'm not a huge fan of the government, but at some point, they need some sort of slap in the ass. And it starts in one state, 2 states, 3 states. Then they go, okay, let's not play this game. Let's just pay these drivers a little bit more. Let's not even get to this mess, okay? And okay, there you go. Congrats. Armando, email me, Sergio at RideShareGuy.com. I want to know who this company is or which company this is. So there we go. Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting time to say the least. It's it's the first few dominoes that are starting to fall, and they're not necessarily falling in Uber and Lyft's favor. Which honestly, right now, some of the legislation that's going through is more in the driver's favor. I mean, you can't argue that. There's nothing really in there that's pork fat or anything extra that they're trying to get in with that particular bill, like we've seen when it comes to some of these national bills and all the crap that they put in. They're 1,000 pages long, and you don't even know what you're voting on because you have no time to read it. These are pretty much spit out as is. There's obviously some legal jargon and all that in it, but when it comes down to it, a lot of these bills are very good in terms of for drivers, not in good for these companies.
I
these
fully
wage floors and stuff.
I had a talk with Harry the other day, and Harry says, "Look, Serge, you keep pushing this agenda, but yes, good for drivers. May not be ultimately good for drivers because they may do something like they did in New York City, right? They may put schedules on people, right? They may do all kinds of shit in the app. I mean, the app is the app. They can do whatever. It's their app. They can do whatever they want. But the fact that just by fares going up, it didn't kill, demand. Why? I'm just questioning that. Why this part of the increase is going to kill demand, right? Yeah. I get it. The elasticity. I get the price elasticity. I get may become unaffordable to some people. Yes, they may lower the demand. I get it. But on the other hand, why is everybody so against drivers making their fair share and a little bit more money? I'm just not getting that. Demand is not everything in the world, man. Demand is not everything in the world. So to me, people saying that, oh yeah, demand's going to get crushed and drivers are not going to get trips. They're going to get, instead of getting 3 trips an hour, now they're going to get 1 trip an hour. Yeah, but on that 1 trip, they're going to make 50% more money or 80% more money. I'm like, and I don't think there's
definitely an even playing field. But the other thing too is even if you're driving more, I mean, if you're driving and making more, but you're driving actual less mileage, you're actually making more because your costs associated with driving are down. Because if you're driving, let's say 200 miles, but after this bill goes through and you're only driving 110 miles, well, you just cut your costs in half when it comes down to it. So your gas extends longer, a lot of different things there. So there is definitely this great area that you could potentially have where there's a big swing. So if demand goes down or if there's too many drivers in the area because everybody wants to drive now at this point or whatnot, that's only going to last for so long. Because the biggest thing too, and you didn't really hit that side of the thing. You hit more of like the passenger demand. I think it's could be the driver supply. The driver supply could just skyrocket because your rates are so high. So yes, you might think that the demand for rides is going down when in fact it really hasn't. But it's just more people are on the platform trying to make money because there's better rates. But that's like going to the gym at the first of the year. It's only going to last a few weeks because after a while, people are going to be like, oh, well, it wasn't as worth it as I thought it was. I didn't get as many rides as I did. So that knocks off a fly. Then another fly gets knocked off. And before you know it, it evens itself out again, where, demand will probably stay relatively the same, maybe drop a couple percentage points. Other than that, I don't think it would go more. And then the secondary aspect is your demand of drivers would probably start evening out as well too, because those people that came on the bandwagon at the time, they're saying, oh, I'm not making the same money I thought I was, and resort back to whatever they were doing elsewhere. And
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's where you're going to get that washout.
we had Walt on from Seattle like a month ago, right? He said something that resonated with me, and it still does, just like in Minnesota now, is that he says, yeah, Uber was complaining the fares are going to go up, right? But they passed it to the passenger, and now they're taking 50% of a bigger number anyway. So just like in Seattle, they complain, but now they're taking 50% of a bigger pie. So to me, it's like, I don't know why they keep complaining. You're taking your 50% of a trip that was 10, now you're taking 50% of a trip that's 15. You're still making more money too, because you're directly going to pass this to the passenger. You're never going to pay it out of your pocket. I mean, don't be silly, Uber. Come on now. So
no. It's just that they can't continually go down. So they can't just boil that frog in warm water up to boiling point. They gotta keep it at this cap, and that's that minimum. And again, it's like they're throwing little temper tantrums. They don't want to do it. And then on the flip side, they're like, oh, we championed Prop 22, and we worked with the legislators in Seattle. And it's like, well, then why are you crying like little babies when it comes to Illinois and Minnesota and all these other places that are trying to enact legislation or make changes? You're crying like little babies, and that's all I can say. It's like, oh, little baby, you want me to give you a rattle for you, little baby? That's what it comes down to. And like at this point, I just kind of ignore them when it comes down to it. Somebody asked, I think it was William, about the Attorney General. It's in that waiting period right now. So there was a waiting period between when this all came to when the decision's going to happen. So there's nothing that's really come from it. It's just, if you're in New York, you may want to look at that potential rule change, see what's going on when it comes to surge pricing in New York. It could be limited, it could be destroyed completely. So that's something that you want to make sure you voice your opinion after you read exactly what it is, because there's a lot tied to it. It's not just the surge pricing, it's tied to inflation costs. So that's kind of how they're tiering this. So yeah, it's something where if you're in New York State, go read that proposed rule change and then voice your whether you're for it, whether you're against it, to the New York State Attorney General, and let her know exactly what's going on.
Yep. So that's the third. Okay. So next one is Megan Long is here. Megan, what happened with your accident? I hope you're okay, buddy. Let's see. This went to
this went to somebody in Minnesota.
This went to Illinois, because guess what? The 2024 Democratic National Convention is going to be held in Chicago, right? Uber is playing that game. They go like, hey, man, look, there may not be enough cars for all the people that show up for the Democratic National Committee, but you're not Democratic governor, and you need to not do this. You need to not sign this bill. Like literally veiled threats and the backhanded threats. Like, he goes, but earlier this month, Josh Gold, here's my favorite Uber guy. Josh Gold, Uber Senior Director of Policy and Communications, wrote a letter to Jamie Harrison, the chair of the Democratic National Committee, warning that such a law would affect 2024 Democratic National Convention. Bullshit.
Oh, that's like so sleazy in my opinion.
That's so sleazy. That's like, you do me a favor, buddy. Because there may not be enough cars in Chicago to drive you people around. Scheduled to be back next year in Chicago. But before then, they pushed this one on the left in the app, and I tweeted this, and it got like, I think 1,800 views. Okay, not that it's a big deal, but it's now they're threatening you.
Yeah.
I saw this. My tagline was, desperate times call for desperate measures, because this was right at the end. Initially, they were sending drivers, go against this bill. Your flexibility is going to be gone. Your freedom is going to be gone. Fares are going to go up to the driver app. How they push the driver app and the passenger app at the same time. This one was the last one in the driver app that showed up. It goes, you're at risk of becoming an employee. No. No, there's no such thing. There's nothing that says that in the now. If the Department of Labor comes down with the hammer on you guys, yes, that's a different question. But not in Illinois. You're not becoming an employee, sir. That's wrong. It's a lie. Look at this. The Minnesota Senate is about to pass a bill that could make drivers like you employees and put you out of work. No, that is not happening. No.
No,
So
because
since when being an employee is such a bad thing, Uber?
you know what's funny? You know what's crazy about this is if you're giving me if you're going to make me an employee, well, now you have to pay for all the mileage on the car. You have to pay for the car maintenance. You have to pay for you got to pay my hourly fee. You got to pay me pay time off. You got to give me vacation time. You got to give me benefits. You got to give me all these things. So are you really going to come up with me becoming an employee as part of your ploy? Or are you just going to bite it up and...
Since when is such a horrible idea to become an employee?
I don't know. I'd rather not be an employee, but that's the thing.
I get that.
This is the bull that they are putting out there. And what's going on? So for those, because Sergio just went right into it and didn't talk about the context of this. So the screenshot that you're seeing where it says you're at risk of becoming an employee, and then it's saying the Minnesota Senate's about to pass a bill that can make drivers employees, put you out of work, double the cost of rideshare across the state, leading to a huge reduction in trip requests, resulting in 1,000 blah 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 blah. A bunch of bullshit. And then it says voice your opposition here. This is what you would be greeted with anytime you opened up the Uber app. So if you opened up the Uber app to go online, this is what would pop up. And they make it where it was almost to the point where you couldn't opt out of doing it. If you wanted to go online, you would have had to voice your opposition. It was that close to what it looked like. Luckily, if you pay attention and look, you can see the little X at the corner. You get exit out. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did something that says you can't go online unless you voice your opposition here.
That would be illegal.
Yeah. So if that's the case, get hold of us because we want to know. But it's very, very close to that. It's very close. Like they're making it very, very close to being that borderline.
The reason Josh Gold sent this to all Uber drivers in Minnesota is because in the Minnesota bill, there's no such thing, by the way. It says you're going to be employed. It doesn't say anything like that whatsoever. But see, Uber did not like the Minnesota deal. Okay, you know why they settled in Seattle and gave them all those high rates and all those benefits? Because the Seattle drivers, said, okay, you give us all this, we'll give you that we stay independent contractors. That's that's written in law, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one in Minnesota did not give Uber and Lyft that. They left a little window open for collective bargaining rights. Okay, that's why the Uber is saying this, by the way. I read the whole thing. And that's why they're threatening you of potentially, possibly down the line, maybe a few decades from now, you may become an employee, but they're doing this. Because the Minnesota, MALDA, it's called MALDA, Minnesota United Something Drivers Association, they said, no, we're not going to give you what they gave you in Washington State. We're not going to give you the automatic, we want to stay independent contractors, let's sign the deal, right? That's why Uber is so opposing this vehemently. They're saying that, we're giving you the high rates, we're giving you anti-deactivation rights, but you're not giving us staying independent stuff, right? So they're afraid that down the line, maybe, the union will come back and say, oh, no, we want to unionize. And then that's what they're fighting for, by the way. That's the whole thing about, don't become an employee. Such a horrible idea.
Well, either way, that's what you could see potentially if you open up your apps in that area. So I saw that. I saw that from quite a few people that sent it our way. And I was just laughing when I saw that. It's like the things that they're saying now, it's like in one ear out the other. And I'm just laughing my ass off because it's like a little 2-year-old having a temper tantrum. It's like my son throwing a temper tantrum because I said, no, we're not making cookies today because I have to work all day. That was earlier today. I said, dude, no cookies. So we're making cookies tomorrow, but he throws a little temper tantrum.
Josh,
like,
hey, no cookies today, Josh.
No cookies for you, Uber. No cookies.
No cookies for you, Josh.
But going on, Uber, I don't know what's going on. I maybe it's the company culture, maybe it's the executive team, maybe it's just Uber too big for themselves. Maybe it's their they're like the one-track mind, profit, and all they see is profit, and they're like anything that could diverge us from that is going to be a real issue, and we got to fight that as best as and as craziest as we can. But with that being said, what about the in-house? What about the employees that are in pain? You know, they're in pain.
The Karen culture, yeah.
They're in pain because white women don't call me Karen.
Don't call me Karen, please.
Don't call me Karen.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's a fun fact. If you go on my other channel, Real Rideshare Stories, you're going to see a lot of Karen videos over there. And I don't take prejudice to skin color. What I do is I take prejudice to the entitled attitude. So if you're an entitled, pain in the ass woman, you're a Karen. I don't care what color you are. It doesn't matter. I'm an equal opportunity Karen caller. So if you want to be an entitled little brat, you're just essentially a Karen. So, I mean, when you sent me this topic, I was laughing because I'm like, why would we even? I'm like, why would we even have to talk about this conversation? Like, are they all little scared girls or something at Uber or what?
This is just for you, buddy. Just for you.
I mean, like, come on, grow a pair.
Yeah, so they suspended their DEI. DEI is diversity group, right? They suspended the lady because she wasn't sensitive enough to all the.
I thought it was because she was Asian and she was trying to do a thing on white appropriation. So
no, I don't think.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm like, really, this is where we're at, people. Come on, like, seriously.
Well,
I mean, the whole reason why this started was because of that bike issue where the pregnant nurse who paid for the bike and, you know, is the person who did it when the other kids came up and said, that's our bike and we're going to take it from you. No, when the media runs one way, you know, that's a problem there. And then they have this whole thing. No, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're entitled, if you're a brat, if you come at it that way, you're going to be labeled a Karen. The nurse here was defending herself and that. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
Jeff, let's make
Jeff. Okay. So, by the way, I know he may be upset with me on this one. Without going into too much detail, Jeff is not going to be able to join our next live stream because he's going through a medical procedure on the 31st. Okay. So everybody wish Jeff good
luck, Jeff.
Good luck, and I'm sure he'll be back in next week. And and so that's all I'm going to say. Lyft has made significant changes in 4 weeks without government intervention. Why? Okay, but Jeff, the trend has not been the driver's friend. You know that, and you're actually behind the wheel video is about to break 10,000 views. 10,000 people watched it and enjoyed it. And, please go watch it, by the way. He's on our channel. I did an interview with him about the 10 don'ts of rideshare. And you mentioned all these things, okay? So to me, I get what you're saying. But at some point, these companies need a brake check. And it's happening in a lot of states. And sometimes, having a brake check is a good thing. And this is, this is. And
you know what? If you want to look at like the DOL and state DOLs and all that,
I don't want
the reason
that.
why they
I don't want
no the reason why they can't. No, I'm talking about Department of Labor and all that.
Yeah.
They were looking at what was going on in the country back, during the Industrial Revolution, during all of that change. And they were trying to come by and, make things better for employees, better working conditions, safer working conditions, putting in the 40-hour work week, overtime, all of that stuff to make it more fair and advantaged for the worker so they weren't worked to death or anything like that. This was age, when it came to age as well, putting age limits in so you didn't have like 12-year-olds going to the coal mine or anything like that. A lot of things happening during those times. And this is kind of the same and similar situation. It's, we're all kind of unsure what's going to happen on the other side of things. So we're all kind of like not happy towards change. But at this point, it's also, there's an exploitative factor that comes down to it. And it's like, all right, I think you said 2016. That's when I started too, was 2016. That's when Jay started, was 2016. And rates were at a certain percentage. You had the 80-20 split. You made 80% of the fare. Uber and Lyft took 20%. Then it went to the 75-25. People were grandfathered into the 80-20. There's this whole thing before time and distance came, which time and distance then brought in a whole different thing, which was how far and time traveled. We were going to attach, you know, a time and distance, which ended up leading into a pay cut, which led to new pay rates that were usually cuts. And here's the thing, if you're going backwards, there's a problem. And that's where things need to come in, where things need to be looked at, evaluated, and then corrected. A course correction per se. Not something that's going to come in this foul swoop like the PRO Act. I'm not for that. I've read the bill. I don't like it. It's very similar to AB5. It's not the same thing, but it's very, very similar. So it's definitely something that, you know, you could be for it, you could be against it. To each its own. I myself personally, I don't like it. I don't want it. But there is something that needs to come through as a course correction, at least to have minimums set up. The thing is, they're never going to go above when it comes to maximums, because they're just going to say, oh, that's the minimum, that's the maximum, that's where they're going to be at. So it's got to be somewhere where there's going to be a give and take. And, you know, these companies have been taking for so long. Now it's time that they have to give a little bit. And then drivers have been giving so long that, and now it's time for them to take a little bit.
You know, you see, you know, we did a show, I think it was like a few months ago, where we put all the, before Upfront Fares, we put all the miles and minutes for a lot of cities, right? Mm-hmm. When you have a lot of minutes and miles and minutes or time and distance rates that are less than the IRS allowed deduction, you know, the stuff has gone really, really too far now. Now, you know, with legislative help, with whatever help, union help, whatever it is, these companies have to be brought to the table. And, you know, because the slide happened over 5-6 years, the rates have been cut 5-6 times. And when you get to 60 cents a mile and 21 cents a minute in a city like LA, well, now we're talking abuse, Jeff. Okay. So, you know, and we're still there. Upfront Fares showed up. I mean, I don't think the rates have changed at all, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, you gotta, if you look at the rate, or I mean, if you look at, if you are one who's collecting your money and seeing, you know, what you're doing and how much you're making, and if you're taking note of everything, some drivers have actually been saying that they're seeing some things go down. So yeah, it's, you know, who knows what's going on, because the whole thing is you just have no idea where those rates are coming from. They're just like, here's this rate. You want it or not?
But I exactly know what my rates were in 2016, and I exactly know what my rates were in 2023, 2022 before Upfront showed up. They were 50% less. 50%.
Yep.
So math is simple. I have to drive twice as much to make the exact same money I was making in 2016. Math is simple. And to me, it was simple. I mean, you know, when you cut the rates, yeah, you're going to be busier, but that doesn't mean shit. You're going to be busier spinning your own wheels, trying to make the same money you were making in 20 hours, and I have to work 40 hours to make the same money. And this cannot keep going on and on and on without, you know, saying brake check, stop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Course correction.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? One of the things that we want to say, because, you know, those that are feeling in pain, we want to help you. So if you were upset about Karen or anything like that, go watch some of the videos that I have on my other channel. You'll laugh, because you're like, oh yeah, okay, now I see what a Karen is. It's just an entitled little brat who's throwing a little tirade like Uber and Lyft. We could call Uber and Lyft Karens when it comes to them doing their little tirade around Minnesota and Chicago and Illinois and all these things. You could call them being little Karens at that point. But yeah, we're gonna give some money away. So hashtag SMTMC, get 25 bucks. We will reward the recipient in a little bit. So make sure you get those in there right now. We have 160 people watching. Hashtag SMTMC, all lowercase, live chat again. So if you're watching the replay, it's only in the live chat for the people who are here. If you want your chance, you will have to be in the live chat. We're not guaranteeing that we're going to do this every week, but we at least have it for the next couple of weeks, and that may be extended. It's pretty much all to what the boss says. So thank you, Harry, for, you know, doing these giveaways. We do appreciate it, and I'm sure the people who are watching appreciate that as well. So let's move on to our next topic. We're gonna, you know, talk about Uber Teen just real quick here. So those who may not be familiar with Uber Teen, basically, essentially, what it is, it's the ability for teens to use the service, which is 13 to 17 in select markets only, and basically. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You're allowing,
you know, we're just let's spend not more than 2 minutes on watching the clock. Okay, so Uber teen 13 to 17. What I found out and what our audience figured out are questions that need to be answered. What happens is if the parent is asleep at 1 a.m. and Uber teen feels like, going out, and, does the parent have to approve that trip? Because they can order food. Now it's Uber Eats as well. They can order food. They can go out there. Now today I learned reading through the website that not only it's them, they can go turn that Uber teen into Uber teen carpool, which is no in my book. It's in about 12, 14 major cities. It should be in your app if you are in one of those cities, and you can opt out at the moment. Okay. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there should be a curfew on this, or there should be there should be somehow, until the parent approves the trip or approves the Uber Eats order, it shouldn't go into effect. This is what it's going to look like in your preferences app. There is trip filters, teen on or off. Okay. And to me, there are unanswered questions that are important to me. I mean, really are. And I think this could turn into a disaster. Now, the good part of this is if you are in those cities and you are doing these trips, these cities right here, if you are doing these trips illegally, meaning against the terms of service because you weren't supposed to pick up a minor, now, it still is in effect, by the way. If you pull up and this person does not look between the 13 and 17, the app still gives you the choice to cancel with underage minor, check on it. How am I supposed to figure this out? Like, I'm trying to pick somebody up. I have to figure out that they're in a 4-year age range. Really, Uber? That's going to be my call. Anyway, before, if you were doing these trips, which were against the TOS, now this kind of made it kind of legal for you guys to do it. All right? If you were against it before, I'm pretty sure you're going to be against it now. But my biggest concern is it says that the parent is going to be notified when the teenager is ordering a trip or food. Great. What if the parent is busy and not looking at their phone? What if they're asleep? Because is this a 24-hour clock? I mean, I would want to know, because these are important questions. I don't want a 13-year-old in my car at 1 a.m. because they felt like going out with 3 other friends. I don't want it. So to me, these answers, these situations have to come up. Uber can say all they want, highly rated drivers, they go through background checks once a year, blah, 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 blah. It's all BS. To me, if this shows up in Los Angeles, in my city, I will definitely opt out. There you go.
Yeah, like I said, I would, as I said last week, I would probably try it out just to see. If there were problems, I would probably do like 5 rides and then kind of give an evaluation there just to see what's going on, or at least be open to it. And then, I drive mostly at night anyway. Usually I start at 8 and then go out until it kind of slows down.
Jose Sanchez. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Look, can you put that Jose's comment up? Jose Sanchez, there you go. Have you guys talked about Prop 22 California adjustment of 34 cents per mile? Well,
that's next week.
We're going to talk a lot about it next week. Trust me, this stuff is coming down the pipe. We're waiting for DoorDash to do it.
Let's just say this man right here, as well as another person, are probably the exact reason on why that changed. So, I don't want to miss exactly what had happened when it comes down to it. So, yes, it was 2 people really that came down to it. Sergio and another driver that I believe is coming on next week as well.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
So, yes, there's a lot of back pay coming to people. And that's really all we're going to say right now, because we're going to be talking about that. But if you want to know who's in drivers' corners and making sure things happen, trust us, that's where we're at. We want to make sure. So when we see things that are happening in the good for drivers versus the bad, we want to let you guys know. And then, behind the scenes, a lot of things are happening too, besides just the show. The show is only an hour or 2 hours a week. There's many other hours throughout the week that a lot of other stuff is going on too. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that mostly next week. So make sure you stay tuned for that when it comes to these 32 and 34 cent changes when it comes to Prop 22.
Don't look at it as 2 cents, 4 cents. Don't look at it as pennies. It's going to amount to hundreds of millions of dollars in drivers' pockets. So that's all I'm going to say. There you go.
Yep.
But let's go to what are we doing now?
We are talking about your little
my tweet fest continues.
Oh, it continues.
Yeah, my tweet fest with David Risher, the new CEO, continues. So I wrote this article.
You got to hit him up and be like, "Yo, can you just come on the
show?"
His
DM is not open, bro. His DM is not open because he doesn't follow me. That's why. He's not Mr. Risher, could you just follow me so I can DM you once in a while, buddy? Anyway, so I
get Harry to have you get verified.
Oh no, I'm not paying for the
no, have Harry do
check
it.
mark or whatever. I'm not paying for that.
Have Harry do it.
I refuse.
Harry, get Sergio verified.
Harry's got it. Yeah, Harry's got it. So I wrote this article. It's got really good traction. In fact, Kamika today sent some, saying, "Congrats, crew! You guys are doing great. Look at this. We're getting all these positive comments from drivers. Blah blah blah." It was about this article. Listen, and this switcheroo, it was true. It was just this good thing that they did. So I tweeted out with the article to David Risher to Lyft, and Lyft finally ends switchering. Drivers are loving it. Okay, I'm not lying. It's true. And then David Risher showed up and says, "Glad you like it. More to come." I'm like, yeah, all right. Already saw a couple more positive changes, scheduled trips, airport information. We talked about it and Show Me the Money. Open invitation to have you as our guest on an episode. We're still waiting. We'll see how it happens.
All right, let's go on.
Yeah, this one was hilarious, bro. They're just all lined up waiting, blocking roads as usual. I'm like, man,
have you ever seen the movie iRobot?
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird, and I don't know why I took this away, but it's something that kind of has been resonating in other movies as well. On top of it. So like the Tron movie, not the 1980s one, but the new one, and I think it was like the early 2000s. It was kind of a similar idea, but basically in wait, was it iRobot where that was with Will Smith, right?
Yeah.
And he was working with a robot to try to help humanity because this whole grand scheme of things, everything was going to be taken over, and they were trying to make sure that all humans were safe and all this stuff. And if you haven't seen the movie, go see it. But either way, there was a scene where they were talking about how these older robots, the ones that have been out and broken down, decommissioned and all that, they'll be put into, a storage facility, but they tend to group together. Like for some reason, they don't know why. It's just like within the code programming or something. It just kind of like they congregate with each other. And there was what movie was it? Tron, where it was kind of the similar thing. So basically, they were trying to build this world where games and people could like interact and play games in this real world or artificial world, AI generated meta world, whatever you want to call it. And essentially, there was these entities that came out of the code itself, and they were kind of like traveling together in a group. And then the whole other thing is like people are just genuinely group aspect and associated. We like to have a group with us, or we're social beings. So it only made sense at that. Here's the same thing. These Waymo rides, they're always finding each other for some reason, then creating all these problems. Because I don't know if they're not talking to each other. They don't know how to talk to each other. What's going on? But they tend to like group up and cause chaos in the streets. So it's just this long-winded way of saying, for some reason, they group together and they don't know what the hell's going on.
Did I freeze?
A little bit, but I think you're okay now.
I froze.
Uh-oh.
Can you guys
all right, well, either way, yeah.
Am I back?
You're back. I see you. I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so this, you guys can see, this is a residential area. That's a residential house. They go, all the people, Tempe residents say, they're all lined up in my street. What's going on here? And these are brand new I-Pace electric Jaguars, by the way. So, they went from, high tech now. They went from those minivans, or I think they were the Dodge Caravans or whatever they were. They went to all these I-Pace Jaguar electric cars now. This thing is like $150,000 with all the equipment on it, just waiting in front of the lady's house. I was like, they're like, yeah, it'd be funny, like 8 of them lined up in my street. I can't get out of my garage.
Well,
what's up, bro?
I don't know, but I'm glad that you weren't frozen like these Waymos were. But in any event,
I felt like
some of the videos that I've been seeing, they're ridiculous. Like we're gonna have to put a compilation of these Waymos together, just because they're hilarious. And then even these robo-taxi delivery trucks, the little freaking little delivery ones that
get crushed by a train.
Yeah, going through an LAPD crime scene.
Yeah,
getting kicked and then there's the robots that are all sitting together, like don't know where to go type thing, and they're just kind of sitting there like, okay, let's go. We got to do like a little robot compilation and say, dude, our jobs are safe and secure for a little while longer.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's that, and then
we got something nice coming.
Yeah,
we got a new ride-sharing app, Black Wolf.
A lot of people sent me this link today, the last couple of days since it came out. Yep. Now you guys can pack heat, and it's called Black Wolf. Is the new Uber with guns. So if you guys want to join the Black Wolf, you better have a permit to carry, and you have to be in a state that's probably open carry. I don't know the rules.
Or conceal carry. No, you could if you have a permit to carry conceal. More than likely, you're going to want to carry conceal in that type of situation because somebody's sitting in your car and you don't necessarily see them, so you don't know what they may be trying to do. Just saying that. And then secondly, I don't know if Black Wolf is everywhere or not, but right now it is in Atlanta.
It didn't say in the article, but it's downloadable.
It's just in Atlanta, at least in this article. But yeah, this is something that is pretty interesting. So would you like to sign up for Black Wolf if you got it? Yeah, right. I'm gonna get my Black Wolf. I'm gonna order my Black Wolf, and I'm gonna rob him. Oh no, you're not.
An interesting idea, though, right? I mean, a passenger who's high value may choose Black Wolf. Just it could be like use the driver as a security guard on top of everything else. I don't know what the drives are. The rides are priced at. I don't know anything because this was just the article. There was no specifics in it. And the CEO of the company says, I'm creating a necessary evil. It's a necessity. I mean, yes and no. Again, Black Wolf founder Kerry King Brown told a local news station. Yeah, I mean, look, man, a lot of these companies come and go, but this seems a step above with a gun.
Yeah. I just hope that the pay rates are going to be better than Uber and Lyft.
I sure hope so.
Yeah. I mean, if I gotta carry the pew pew and the bullets and all that, I gotta get the permit and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
I gotta get paid for it.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that's something that's coming. I mean, there's a lot of platforms out there. It's just a matter of if they're going to get big. You could come out with a platform, but it's not about necessarily getting the drivers. Yes, you're going to have to work on that, but I think that most drivers would probably just sign up for any app that would be in their area when it came to rideshare, just because you're opening yourself up to more possibilities of getting rides. And my time goes to the highest bidder, so that's what I'm going to do. But when it comes down to some of these things, it would be great to see more than just Uber and Lyft in potential areas, and see what they could bring to the table when it comes to some of the perks or the pay, and putting pressure on these larger companies like Uber and Lyft.
Thank you, Steve. Steve, we need to talk, Steve. Thanks. We have big news coming up. Steve Rideshare Rodeo, check out his channel. Really great information there. And last but not least, this is Uber's earnings. Okay, guys, this hit me so beautifully the other day. I go I have to put this up. So Uber always reports earnings under adjusted EBITDA. EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, and depreciation and amortization. Okay. When you do adjusted EBITDA, your burger will look like that because you can make it look like that. Now, there is 3 levels of this. There is adjusted EBITDA, there is EBITDA, and there is GAAP, which is like Apple and Microsoft. Those are the companies that
it's like real profit.
Yeah, that's like actual money in the bank kind of money.
That's like a crab leg, surf and turf dinner. That's not eating a Burger King or a McDonald's burger. No, this is going to This is a Five Guys burger. This is going and getting like a Japanese Wagyu beef burger or something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the first one is Uber's earnings, the way it's made look, right? Now, if you just took out the adjusted part of the EBITDA, that's how Uber's earnings would look. Okay. Now we didn't. Yeah. I can't put GAAP because then there would be no burger. so
they would owe you a burger.
Yeah, that's how it looks. So don't buy the earnings things. By the way, all Uber's earnings are unaudited. They're not audited by a big five. So there are unaudited adjusted EBITDA. And that's what Wall Street is going and accepting at the moment. And, it's not against the rules. It's not against the law. But you can make a burger sure look like that or look like that, one or the other. So I thought this was funny. This line kind of picture's worth 1,000 words. And there you go.
Oh, yeah. There's two pictures you really enjoy. This one and then the Lyft tree and the Uber tree.
That's classic, bro. That's classic. That's just classic. All right, let's give them the money.
All right, so hashtag SMTMC. We got 51 people. Make sure you hit hashtag SMTMC. We're going to make sure we are going to see who is our winner. Jeff was our first winner, and he just gave it back. So appreciate that. Thanks
Jeff gave like 4 of these giveaways back, so we have to continue this. Harry, are you watching this? Thanks for the kind thoughts. Well, yeah, always. Okay, he's announcing it, so I can read it. He's going to have a triple bypass on the 31st. Okay, we're going to keep up the fight, and we're going to see you on. I don't know if they let you out. They let you watch us on the 7th. You may get too excited, so probably on the 14th. So everybody, wish Jeff a healthy recovery. He's going to have a triple bypass on the 31st. So I guess his last show is going to be on the 30th until the 14th or the 21st. So Jeff, speedy recovery. We love you. Take care. And here's the money. Should we give it to Jeff?
Right.
Let's give it to Jeff.
Well, what we're going to do is we are going to just wait a minute or two just to get those last second, because it was like 48. Now it's 59. So those who want to get in for the last couple of minutes. Again, this is a live chat only. So if you're watching on the replay or listening on the podcast side of things, then you're going to want to wait. But let's we'll give you everybody a chance. Again, you can only enter once. Hashtag SMTMC, all lowercase, as is on the screen. With a couple of things being said, make sure you stay tuned. We have our Show Me the Extra Mile Sunshine Award recipient winner for April on Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern, at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Jesus Christ, I can't talk. Where his story is going to come out, and Sergio did a great job with that interview. Amazing story there. So make sure you check that out. Also, tomorrow is Money Hungry with Kim and Zach, and they're going to be talking all things delivery and last mile delivery. So check them out. And then also just all of our other great content out there. When it comes to RideShare Guy, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and make sure you hit that like button here. Let us know that you enjoy the show. I mean, we appreciate hearing it, but smash the like button so we can help not just everybody that's watching, but more people know what's going on in the Uber and Lyft world, the rideshare world, the gig economy world, because not a lot of people know, and they may not know about the channels. So we want to try to reach out and get as many people as we can. So they're up to date on everything. They know what's going on. They can call shenanigans when Uber sends them those messages in Minnesota, says, oh, you might become an employee, when in the reality of things, not going to really happen unless maybe down the road or something. So at least you know those types of things. So Sergio, any last things before we do
and finally, we started with it. We're going to end with it. We want to thank our new sponsor, Ualett. It's a cash advance app with no interest. It's just a flat fee. Please go check it out. The link is in the show notes. And if you use RIDE 10% off your first deal. We all know drivers. This is for all gig workers, by the way, not just rideshare. If you're making any money off big apps, you can go get yourself a cash advance and then fix your car. If you're sick, you can pay for a short-term bill, whatever it is. I'm going to do it, and I will keep you guys posted on it. New sponsor for the next 8 weeks, Ualett. Uelett. Here we go. Here's the money.
All right. And let's get our drawing going. I'm going to write to StreamYard and be like, yo, look, StreamYard, get some music on this shindig. Mr. Gambit
from LA.
You are the winner. All right. Congratulations, Mr. Gambit. $25 to you. Hit up Sergio and he'll get you your gift card.
Yes, email me, Mr. Gambit, Sergio at therideshareguy.com.
All right.
We did it.
Anything else? Any last words? Any last questions, everybody? Cash advance, my How do you feel? I am. My throat is dry and I've been drinking water and you know, I'm in 2 hours to 2 hours and 20 minutes, a little longer than our hour and 15 that we're supposed to be going, Sergio.
No, I had nothing to do with this. You had the thing going.
You're like, dude, we're gonna have 5 topics. I'm like, okay, great. And then you bring 8 topics.
You know, we love our people. So, and yeah, please tune in next week. Yeah. We need everybody tuning in California, especially next week. Okay, please. Yeah,
big thing when it comes there. We may or may not have depending on how the show shapes up for tomorrow, or I'm sorry, next week. We may or may not have our Chicago drivers comparison for both Uber and Lyft. That may be coming next week. It may not. It just depends on how, much is going to go into the other aspect of things that are going to be taking place. So that may be pushed back just a week. And then, one of our Chicago drivers also reached out and showed another thing that we're going to be mentioning. We've talked about before when it came to Surge and when it came to the base fares and all that stuff, but this is something that's showing in real time on the same exact ride. So we're going to bring that to you guys too. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and it's Tuesday. So 8 p.m. I'm sorry, geez, I'm getting money hungry confused. 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. And again, you can catch the replays after the show airs. And then also, we're on any major podcasting platform.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Have a good one. Oops.
Take care.